Hello, welcome. I am Savva from Savva Talk Spurs. Let me start off this show by saying there is a fake account about me. I don't know if any of you have seen it. There is an account going around called Savva Talks Arsenal. How very mature, how very grown up, and of course it's me. If you do see the account, please, can you please just ignore it and report for me? It is not me. Why would I have a show called Savva Talks Arsenal? Anyway, moving on from the sad dickheads there are out there in the world. Welcome to you all. Hello, and welcome. Today, just a bit of a Q&A show, a bit of a chance for us to have a discussion. There doesn't have to be an agenda, a chance for everyone to ask questions, and also a chance if anyone would like to come on to the show, they can. But I will state that anybody that does come on to the show, if you do come to the show and I see you in the background, you need to have your name, your proper name, not a fake name, a proper name, and I need to see you on the video. I'm posting the link into the chat now. If you would like to join, you need to click onto that link when I say. Let me know if there are any problems with that. So first of all, good afternoon. How excited is everyone? How excited is everyone for the Premier League season to be back? I absolutely hate it when the Premier League is out. I hate it. No amount of international football or anything can change. It can change this for me. Yeah, sorry. I've just suddenly got loads of messages like I have right now. Look, you can see one right now from Danny Kiprianu saying, is that you, Sav? God, this is a nightmare. So yeah. Anyway, guys, talk to me. Milenkovic. This is the big one coming out today. We've had many rumours this week, this transfer window rather, but we are talking about, everyone's saying slight audio issues. Let me try and start again. Can you all hear me? I'm having all sorts of... Can you hear me, guys? Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. I do not know what is going on. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Everything is saying that my mic is working. So can you hear me? Please let me know in the channel so we can actually start. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Right. Can anyone let me know? This is really bad. This is embarrassing. Can you see me and can you hear me? Can someone please let me know in the chat? For some reason, I'm not getting my audio settings look fine. My mic appears to be working. It's working at the end. My video is working. Can you hear me? Yes, and everyone, yes, I do know there is someone impersonating me. I do realize that. Let's crack on with the show. Okay, sorry, guys. Let's start again. If anyone would like to come on the show, I am putting the comment into. I am putting the link to the show into the chat. Feel free to come on if you'd like. You do need to have your name. You do need to have a camera working. Okay, please do not turn up and do anything silly. Don't have your willy out. Don't be naked from the top up or pulling silly faces. And also, can I please ask, could you all report the Savva Talks Arsenal account? It is not me. I don't have enough time to do my own work and these shows, let alone that go. So let's move on. Talk to me then, people. Talk to me. Getting any questions you want. Get me, Catman Jess, please do not apologize. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, but I am fully aware that this is happening. So let's talk. Let's finally get round to it. This has been a nightmare, isn't it? Milenkovic, Fiorentina, very good centre back, can play right back, can play centre back, tall, powerful, imposing in the air. He's got 5 years under his belt playing in Serie A. He's a Serbian international. What would you guys think about him joining Tottenham? Is this the sort of player that you would like? Is this the sort of player? Let me know. Get your questions in as well. For me, I think that this is definitely the sort of player that Tottenham need. We're definitely short at centre-back. I think if any fans truly believe that Dyer and Davis are the answer, then I question whether or not they would want progression from what we've seen over the last few years. I think defenders like that can take you so far, but I don't think they take you. I don't think they take you far enough. So let me know what you think. Have you seen him play? Lots of people, I'm sure, will not have seen him play. But I have. I think he's a very good defender. Looks calm and assured on the ball. I like his heading ability more than anything. So for me, definitely a type of player I would want to get in. Philip President is in the chat. I'm just waiting to see if a video comes up. No offense, Phil. I've got to be really certain with everyone. Here he is. I'm gonna bring you into the show and we can talk about whatever you would like, Philip. I'm adding you to the stream now. Here he is. I'm gonna bring you to the show.
All right, Savva, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I'm there. How you doing, mate? Can you see me?
I'm good. How are you? You well?
I'm good, my friend. I'm good. How you doing? I'm the one that leaves the comments on your stuff, mate.
Welcome.
Eric, I have to behave, mate, before I even start, because you heard my Eric Dyer stuff, mate. He is woefully bad. He is shocking. The man has no pace. He can't run back. He is just awful. Mm-hmm. That's just the start of our defense. You look at Davis, he's been here 8 years. You still haven't learned how to defend properly. Basics of defending, yeah? If in doubt, put the ball out. You still haven't learned it yet, blood. Look at the game against Wolves. Absolute shocking. Hooked the ball back. We even know where he was passing it to. And it literally goes straight to the Wolves player and they score. But we're supposed to say nothing because it's negative. That's disgusting. Come on, man.
No, listen, I completely agree with you. Look, Charlie has joined the chat as well. I'll come to you in a second, Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Charlie, you there? Can you hear us?
Hello? You hear me?
Charlie, we can't hear you very well. Can you hear us?
Oh, no.
While he's doing that, Philip,
I can hear you guys.
Oh, you can. Okay, guys, tell me then, why do we need better than Dyer, and why are there a lot of fans that all of a sudden seem to think that Eric Dyer is the solution, whereas he seems to have been one of the problems for the last 5, 6, 7 years?
The problem is expectations of the club are on the floor, mate. The fans' expectations, all of them just believe, because Daniel Levy is willing to put this much money into it, when he's not willing to push the boat out for them to get a proper centre-half. If you're charging me the high prices in the league to watch Tottenham Hotspur play, and you're not willing to put in the premium amount of players to get us to the position where we should be to be charging that price, I consider you committing theft. I'm sorry to say it, Savva. Because
no. Listen.
There's no way we should charge more than Liverpool or City. We should not be paying more than them because you're not even competing with them, Savva. That's a joke. But no one seems to pull up that point. It's a joke, blood.
No, listen,
I've been at the protest with Brian. I've been at the protest, mate, and
I can feel it. Look, I completely agree with you. For me, I think that the key thing when I look at Tottenham Hotspur is I think if you have got a chairman charging anywhere between £80 and £100 per ticket, I'm cool with that. If you're putting Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, right?
The likes of Milenkovic, Savage. But they come out like last night in the Spurs corner. We can't afford those players. So why are you charging me that price then, mate? If you can't afford to buy them kind of players, the best players in the world, you've got no business charging me the high prices in the world, mate. That's insulting, blood. No, and this Spurs play, but come on, man. This Spurs play, £45. This is another cash grab, blood. I'm sorry to say it. It is bad.
Listen, I completely agree with you. I think the difficulty is, I get it that there needs to be a bridge, right? You don't go from where we've been to having.
But 21 years, mate. 21 years, yeah, baby steps. Come on. 21 years, you're telling me now, baby steps. Come on.
Right. Listen, you've watched me long enough to know I am not a fan of foreigners, right?
Brother, when I heard John Henry right, yeah, and you said out loud, right, the transfer window made you feel sick. I said, Ross, this man is level with me, brother. Because I see a Tottenham window, yeah, and I make me feel sick, blood. The years and years of hitching, you fly off to Portugal once, you come back with nothing. You fly up to Italy twice, you come back with nothing. But this man keeps you here. If you were working at a job, Savva, yeah, and you failed 3 times, you'd been fired, blood. That is disgusting, blood. A job for the boys, man. Come on. Wow.
I agree with you. This is my point. I think what Spurs should have done with the ticket prices is gradually raise it as gradually raise the standard of the player that you buy.
That's it. Raise the standard of the club and then do it. Right. We had Savva, like I said to people, right? If you watch 1984 and you see the way that Burbeck and Scholar had the club, right? And you can hear the way they talk and you can see the way that Levy operates, it's not far off them, blood. We're going to compete with the best teams in Europe. That's what they said at the time, and that's exactly what he said when we moved into that stadium. You're going to be playing with the best teams in Europe, with the likes of Barcelona, Bayern Munich, all these good teams, yeah? We've moved into that stadium. We haven't bought one world-class player. 30 years since Jurgen Klinsmann, mate. 30 years. That's a joke, but you're a big club, blood. 30 years since the last time we bought a world-class player, blood. Come on, man.
I mean, look, Phil.
Standards are bad, guy.
Do you know what, Philip? From my point of view, it's not even about the world-class players, because I get it that you need to get to a point where you sign world-class players. For me,
yeah, but world-class players encourage world-class players, Savva. If you bring in a world-class player, yeah, you're going to have players willing to join your club just to play with a guy. That's the level that we need to get to.
I'm not doubting it. My point is, at the moment, I'm talking about we don't even seem to go for the next level below.
Oh, no, brother. Right. Look at the window. Look at the window as a whole. Yeah. We are better than Everton. So why the hell are we going for a Charlatan? Oh, and gassing it up. Brother, we're better than Everton. Even if we finish in the Conference League, yeah, we're still better than Everton. So it's a step up anyway. Brighton, they're best places mid-table. It's a step up to come to Tottenham Hotspurs. But you're saying, oh, we should gap the window because you signed a player from Brighton. You signed a player from Everton. You signed a player from Southampton. The list goes on. But we should sing his praises. Get out of here. You're... Nah, mate. Nah.
Listen, I hear you. Just quickly before we continue, I'm going to try bringing Charlie in again in a second. Just quickly, first of all, everybody, welcome to the show. Please keep hitting the like buttons. It really does help. And can I please ask a favour? If you do see a channel called Savva Talks Arsenal, it is
I see it last night.
Me. It is
mate,
not
you should be flattered. You should be flattered.
Mate,
Someone's going to take you.
Years of fake accounts about me. It does get
I
slightly
know.
boring, but
I hear you. I heard you, mate. I heard you on the Boy Hotspur as well. Big up the Boy Hotspur. But yeah, I heard you on that show as well, man.
It's all good. Let's try and bring Charlie in. Let's see if your internet's working now. Charlie, can you hear us?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear us?
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, just it's a bit kind of slow and stuff. I'm not sure.
No worries. Where are you?
Somewhere.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Love that. What did you want to say, Charlie? What point did you want to come on and make?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, okay, here.
Yeah, I've just joined, so I'm not really sure what kind of the conversation is at the moment. If you can maybe give me heads up, or.
But the players that were linked with the players that are coming in, innit? And what do you think of them? Sorry, Savva.
No, you're okay. Whatever you want to
say?
talk about, mate. Whatever you want to talk about, Charlie.
The players that we linked with, yeah.
I can just about hear you. It's very on and off for me. So apologies if I kind of like cut out or anything. But yeah, I just want to say, yeah, I've enjoyed all the shows and stuff. So I thought I'd maybe come on and have a look. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys kind of make of the window as a whole, really? Because I've seen a lot of kind of divided opinions in a way. I think it's good, but we kind of need more. I think there's some fans going overboard, some fans kind of underplaying it as well. I want to know where you guys kind of.
Phil, you want to take it?
All right, cool. For me, it's a good start. I'll say 6 out of 10. Yeah, Richarlison, I wouldn't pay 60 million for him. I'm sorry, but so I'm giving him a wide berth. Perisic, yeah, we know his quality for about a year, but it is what it is, and he's going to improve our left-hand side. Lenglet is a step up from Dyer, and he's a all-round better player than him, so I'm not even going. Davis, what's the other one now? Basuma, very good signing. I think that is a game changer for us in that position. He's better than Højbjerg.
What about
and what's the other one?
Have you done Spence?
Just Spence. Brother, we needed a proper right back. I'm sorry to say it, but there's no point in us buying a second string right back or a rotational right back here when we haven't got a good first team right back. That's pointless. And I've always felt that way. That's pointless. We should have just gone out there and bought a proper right wing back. In Tottenham Hotspurs, man, you've got the money to do it. You've got all the revenue streams available to you from the NFL games and all that. You can go and buy a proper right back. You can go and buy a Melina. Make a statement, man. Don't sit there, blood, and tell me that you've got it.
Melina's the one I wanted.
Right. And even McHaley, that's a joke, blood. Last year of his contract, that's Paratici's bread and butter. You let him go to PSG, no fight, nothing. Mention.
Just quickly, guys. Just quickly. I like, as you all know, Zeddy has said, for some reason, sorry, there's a huge lag today. He has said, did LFC fans say that about Robertson? What about Trent when he was young? What I love.
Yeah, but they give him time.
Hang on, Phil. Hang on. What I love about comments like this is clearly where people have not done their homework. Andy Robertson wasn't bought straight from the Championship. He had played for 2 years in the Premier League with Hull City first. So there's a huge difference between what Liverpool had seen he could do against the top players versus Spurs buying Spence, who's only played in the Championship. With regards to Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's very different. They didn't pay for him. He was from their youth team. Mm-hmm. If you play a youth player from your youth team, you haven't had to go and spend. You either put him in the team or don't. We've actively gone out and spent on a Championship player. So I hear this, Phil, about Walker as well. People say, well, Walker came from Sheffield United. Well, he did. Yeah. He didn't come from Sheffield United and go straight into our first team. He went on
when they were bought, they weren't our first choices, mate. They were gradually eased into the team. With Jed Spence here, our right wing backs are so poor at this moment in time. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. He's going to be thrown at the deep end because our right wing backs are too poor. So he's not going to get that time here where he's going to be able to grow into himself. And this is the problem at Spurs. but for a big club, yeah, to be throwing youngsters out straight out there at the deep end, you're not giving them a chance to mature into what they need to be. You're just throwing them out there. But you're a big club. You shouldn't be doing that.
I think
You don't see United doing that. You don't see Chelsea doing that.
No. Okay, so one of the key things for me is I've got nothing against bringing in young players. I've got nothing against it.
But give them time.
This is This is a key position for Tottenham, which is the right wing back. So for me, if you're going to bring Spence in, the bloke playing in front of him needs to be quality. Someone for him to learn off.
Right.
But when people are saying, like Zeddy, put faith in him, give him time, at the end of the day, I question what are fans' ambitions if they constantly want to do that with every player.
Yeah, but first and foremost, what I would say to fans here is, are you ready to grow up? Because if you are ready to grow up, we're talking about Conte here. This is 3-5-2. Now, I've heard a lot of fans, 4-3-3. We ain't playing no 4-3-3. I'm sorry, that's not Conte. It's 3-5-2, right? You have the two holding midfielders. He's done it from back in Juventus days. The two holding midfielders and one attacking midfielder, one box-to-box player, number 6, number 8. Now, first and foremost, I said we need to make a statement of intent. Now, it's been, like I said, 30 years since Jurgen Klinsmann. From the beginning of the summer, I said if Spurs are genuine about going for a statement of intent, go and get Milenkovic Savic. The big man. Go get Sergei. Don't play games with me, bro. Because I've seen it all before. I've been here 21 years, mate. I've seen it all. So don't play games with me, bro. If you want to seriously make a statement of intent, right, and you seriously want to be telling me that you're competing for trophies, you want to do whatever it needs to go to the next level, you go and get Milenkovic Savic. Now, we're in a Champions League, like you or not. We're better than Arsenal. I don't want to play games with a poor Arsenal team, blood. I see League on, blood. And he's right, the standards in that club have dropped. And I've watched from the Invincible days, because I remember, we're in North London, It's not hard to look across the way there and see Arsenal, blood. And from the days of Davos Fuker and Bergkamp and Henry in 99 to now, it's a joke, blood. But them mans are still buying into that, so let them buy into it, blood. I know it's hard, but let them buy into that. I don't want to play games for that team.
I think it's really difficult, right? Because I get it. I think for the younger fans, especially, I don't know how old you are, Philip, but look,
I'm 40 like you, Savva.
Okay,
I've seen, like I said, I've seen Romario and all that. So,
what a player that was!
Right. So, world class to me, it's the same like to you. It's levels, blood.
I agree.
Even Son is not world class. He's a good player, but when you compare him to George Ware, when you compare him to Romario or Hristo Stoichkov or Georgie Hadji, he ain't there, blood.
Yeah. I think, look, the key thing for me is this. As football fans, I think, especially with a lot of younger fans, I think it's great. You want to back your team. You want to just constantly say, we're amazing. We're going to get better. We're going to win things. I think when you've been through years and years of doing that, you finally come out to the other side where you start to go, hang on, let me take a step back and look at this responsibly now, right? And for me, like, you've seen it, Phil. I get called. I get called.
I know you're called negative, brother. You're telling the truth, and don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, blood. I don't want to hear you telling people you're sorry, because I heard that already. Okay. I'm sorry, man.
But I get called all these types of things.
I know.
When I actually meet people, so for example, when I go to the game on Saturday, there will not be a few people who come up to me and go, "Oh, you're that." People who either go, "Oh, I really love your podcast," or "Oh, you're that prick."
Yeah.
Right. Either way, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's normally the people that come up to me and go, "Oh, you're that prick," with the negative opinions. When I have a beer with them, when I actually have a beer with them, sit down with them face to face, and I actually go, "Hang on, let me tell you my opinions," right? Without hundreds of people in the comments, without YouTube, without Twitter telling you who I am. People go, "Oh, right, I didn't know you realised like that." Right. But the problem is we're in a day and age, Phil, where so I'm not preaching to you, you know, we're in a day and age.
No, go on.
If you turn around and say, like I've said, I think Spurs will finish 4th, right? Chelsea have got buying power. Now people are going, "Oh my God, you're negative, you're toxic, we've got contact. It's like, okay, all right, cool. But let's not do what most Spurs fans do and now start belittling these serial winning football clubs.
Right. And before we start that, Savvy, yeah, like I said to you, we have to be grown-ups now, right? You can't tell Conte, yeah, who's been champion in Italy and England, right, what formation to do. 3-5-2 got him success at Chelsea, Inter, and Juventus. Yet he's denied playing that system because we haven't got the players to play that system.
Yep.
So what was the point of bringing the man in there if you can't play the system that he's built to implement, and then have the audacity to tell me that he's going to bring success, blood? He can't bring success if you can't play his own system. That's pointless, blood. First and foremost, yeah, we have to get the right formation together for him. When we played Roma, yeah, I commented on the Irish Hotspurs, and I said, you know what? Mourinho took the mick because Mourinho actually played 3-5-2, Conte's system in the game, blood. And I was like, Ross, are you taking the piss, blood? Sorry about my friend. Are you taking the mick, blood?
Yep. Just quickly before we carry on, Phil. Zeddy, let me just go through a few of these comments quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Zeddy said, I understand Spurs have beat the shit out of you for years, Savva. Yes, they have. But I think all the years of that are influencing your views on this window and current state of Spurs. Okay, Zeddy, as I always do, I'm not someone to put an opinion forward and leave it there. I will put an opinion forward and break it down for you.
If I said to you, I want to get in a DeLorean here and go back 2 years to Mourinho's window, which is the same window as this one. Would you understand, blood? Because this window is similar to Mourinho's in the shocking ways, man. I looked at it and I thought, geez. And then I heard Iggy last night here on the Spurs Corner about 2013 when we saw Bale, and I thought, again, it's the quantity of equality again. Why? Is this all this man knows? Quality over quantity? No. Quality comes first, blood. Always bring in the quality here, and then the better players will join your club to play with that player. Look at Man United. That's why they're chasing De Jong, blood. If they get De Jong, yeah, you watch how many players will join that club to play with him.
Let me just quickly break this down. And go through some comments because that's what I pride myself on. Zeddy, first and foremost, when you're saying it's influencing my views on this window and the state of Spurs, well, no, I said Spurs will finish fourth. We just finished fourth, so that's what influences me. And this window, when you're talking to me about it being brilliant, I'll leave this with you, Zeddy. Would Man City, Liverpool, or Chelsea ever have this window we're having now? The answer is no. They wouldn't buy these players. Perisic, maybe. The other players, they're not buying. Just quickly, Wayne Holland is in the chat. Big up to yourself, Wayne Holland. Sorry, it's taking ages to come up. I do apologise. There's something wrong with YouTube. Ben Salah Youssef has said, hi, Savva. What do we think of Milenkovic? I would take him all day. He's better than what we've got.
Good player. We got him last year.
I think he's a very good player.
We should have got him last year. Yeah, we should have got him last year. We were linked to him last year. We were linked to him all summer last year. We should have got him in before he signed that contract with Fiorentina.
Zeddy has come back and saying to us, oh God, this is so slow. I'm so sorry. I'll just read out the comments. Zeddy has said 3-4-3 is what he's played in the Premier League. I think when he played in the Premier League before with Chelsea, he had a player in the midfield that dictated the game. Cesc Fabregas. Fabregas put his foot on the ball and he controlled the game. The difference is, Zeddy, he's not got that at Tottenham. The midfielders we've got are more workhorses, hard-working, break it down, but none of them are put your foot on the ball and control the tempo of a game.
They can't dictate the play. They can't dictate the play because they haven't got it in their locker. Yeah. Maddison, yeah, I like your choice here, Maddison, yeah. I do like him, don't get me wrong. But I feel Tottenham need to make that statement, blood. It's been too long. They need to make that statement of, yo, we are ready to compete with the best teams in Europe now. Because you've seen them get up to that point there. You've seen the stadium, you've seen the training facilities. Inik have done brilliant on that score. Right? That's an achievement. Like my man said there, it's an achievement. Now it's time for success. Yeah, we have to aim for the players like Milenkovic, Savage. We're better than Latvia. We're in the Champions League. They're not.
I know.
Take advantage of the fact that they're not in the Champions League. Go and get that player, blood. Don't play games, blood. 2 weeks to haggle, man. Come on.
Phil, let me go through these comments.
Haggle.
I need to get through some comments. Party after party has said we spent more than Chelsea, City and Liverpool. So party after party, let me explain to you why. Because Liverpool didn't need a lot. Man City don't need a lot. They've just replaced a few outgoings with a few incomings. And Chelsea are about to go big. Don't worry about Chelsea.
No, I know this to be true.
It's not just about the volume of money spent. If you think about it, nearly all of our transfer kitty has been spent on Richarlison.
Yeah.
Spence was 12 million.
Do you not notice that as well? That Moshi and him are friends. Do you not notice how him and Moshi are friends? Look at Dele Alli. Yeah, last days of the January window, we managed to get Dele Alli right to Everton, and then we bought Richarlison for 50 million from them. Come on, man. There's something not right between those two. But that's speculation, so I'll let that go. You know what I mean? But I see something there as well, bro.
At the end of the day, I just think people forget that look, so far this window, two freebies.
Good.
Phil, you've got to let me finish, man. You've got to let me finish my point, or I'm never going to get through these comments. Right?
I'm sorry to make you laugh, mate. I'm sorry.
So we've had two players on a free, one on a loan. One is 12.5 million, 25 million for Bassoon, which is good business. But the only real money we've spent is on Richarlison at 60 million. So when people are saying, I think people are getting caught up with volume over quality. Zeddy has said we need that midfielder for sure. Yes, we do. Scott M has said if that ever comes through, we spent more than them because they don't have the holes we do. None of our signings get into their starting 11. Absolutely. Aaron has said, sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with YouTube today. Happy Monday, Savva. You have someone on another stream named Savva Talks Arsenal claiming to be you. Aaron, I can assure you the fact that I'm on this stream as me right now means it's not me on that other stream. So, Aaron,
can I pick up to Aaron Duff, mate? I see him in the comments as well. I like him, you know.
He's a good guy. Aaron,
if
you could be so kind, Aaron, to just let people know in that other stream, it's not me. It's an absolute tosser of a human being. Whoever it is, message me. And I have already reported it to YouTube, so there's not a lot I can do. Phil, I want to see if we can get some different people on. No offense to you, but I want to ask you one question before I let you go.
What's that?
Is this the year Spurs end their trophy drought?
It depends on what we do in the last 3 weeks of the window. If we can get someone like a Madison or a Milenkovic Savic, yeah, we could do something because we've got the team to break that low block. And Milenkovic Savic, like I said, runs between the lines, so and we can play centrally. We still need the central defender though, because Dyer's nowhere near the quality we need to go anywhere, mate. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Champions League, yeah, for him to be in it, I dread to see what them attackers are going to do to him, mate. They're going to skin him alive. Romero, yeah, is quality, but he cannot carry that defense into the Champions League or into any position where we're going to be successful. We need to get a left-sided centre-half. Lingley is good, but we still need the quality in that position. Bastoni for a year. We don't know where we're going to be next year, so we can't really say that's a goer yet. Mm-hmm. But we do need to have that commanding central defender. And I think we missed out with Kalidou. And I keep saying that to you as well. I think we missed out on Kalidou. But Milan Skriniar or De Vrij, someone like that, yeah, who Conte is trusted and got Conte success, would take us to the next level, mate, in defence.
Yeah. No, listen, I agree with you. I'll say the same thing I say at the beginning of every window. Can we win a cup? Yes. Will we win a cup? Very tough. At the end of the day, people keep telling me this is the year to win a cup. But I'm looking at it going, Liverpool, City and Chelsea go strong in every competition. Yeah. So all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
even Arsenal are going to be strong this year. You can see it already with Jesus. They're going to be strong. You can see it with Man United. They know they're going to buy because United always buy, mate. We've been watching United since Alex Ferguson. Come on, man. They're going to buy players. And they're going to buy some serious quality players.
I
Right?
agree.
And then you're going to have the likes of West Ham with Skamaka. And if you've got Koches crossing the ball to Skamaka, you're trouble, blood. Because remember, Kostic, his crossing ability and Skamaka's aerial ability as well. Come on, man. That's a dirty combination there. Then you have to compare us to Wolves and all these other teams. It's going to be difficult, but Spurs need to lay him out a marker. It's been too long. Zanolo for me, too many red flags. The 2 ACLs, man. I don't think he'll handle the physicality of the Premier League. Even not for me. Go and get Milenkovic Savage.
Listen, I think there's so many top players that we could go and get that we never do.
You know that well.
Until
let's say Savva, 500 days. I said we had no ambition, blood. The ambition question, the A to the N, ambition, and it's run with Enoch ever since. It's a question of ambition, blood. We see how you have ambition off the field there with Spurs play, with the high ticket prices, with the charging the fans before the season even began, the early ticket renewals. We saw all that, blood. So when it comes to making money, you have ambition, blood. But when it comes to the football field and providing a service that the people want to see, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And I want to see it for 21 years. I want to see it, blood.
Just before I let you go, Phil, Zeddy, when you're saying we give credit to the other teams and harsher with Spurs, yes, because the other teams we're talking about are Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool, who win everything. So the credit goes to them because they keep striving every year. You look at Chelsea. I keep hearing how Chelsea are falling off a cliff. They've lost Rudiger and Christensen. They've already signed Koulibaly. They're now trying to get Fofana or Vardial. They're about to sign Cucurella today or tomorrow.
Yep.
Right? They will go and buy another forward. These clubs buy. Spurs, we go and get players that we go, well, they're okay.
That's the one.
Right? So when I'm told that I'm harsher on Spurs, of course I'm harsher on Spurs because
they've got high standards, mate. I want them to win. I'm sorry, but I've been here for 21 years. 14 of them, you got children going to school who've never seen Tottenham win a trophy, man. 14 years since we won a trophy, blood. Where are you going with this? But you're telling, but you got fans like, yo, we shouldn't be happy just to be there. But hey, raise the standards, blood. You want to go there. You want to win.
I agree.
You don't want to be part of the numbers, blood. No one remembers the loser, about. You want to win. You want that mentality to go through the whole squad. That's what Conte is there to do. Give Conte the tools to do it, and I guarantee you, he will bring success to Tottenham Hotspurs. You've seen it at Chelsea, Inter, and Juventus. He's built foundations there, but he needs to have the player. I want to see them doing the Lukaku deal, blood. You see how we went to Inter, and told them, look, I want Lukaku by any means necessary, and they had to go and buy Lukaku. Yeah. That's what I want to see at Tottenham. That's the one I want to see Daniel's changed in, but I ain't seen it yet.
We're never going to see it. Look, at the end of the day, I think one of the key things for me is I keep hearing that this is the player Conte really wants. Yeah. Now, if that's the case, why does Paratici seem to need 2, 3, 4 weeks with every single director of football at another club to thrash out a deal?
Savva, do you notice how they say our window's changed there, but everything that we do seems to be, like you say, 2 weeks. If you see it was like Liverpool or even City, 2 days, bang. Ours is 2 weeks because we're constantly haggling down 5 million here, 5 million there, 10 million here, 10 million there. We had it with the likes of Grealish, blood. All those years ago, and it's the same now. Nothing has changed. I want to ask you something, Savva, because I asked it out in the chat yesterday, and I don't think they heard me properly. Have you ever seen Daniel Levy take a loss in the transfer market, blood? Genuinely. Genuinely. Serious. Because you hear people talk about Ndembele, and no one is going to buy Ndembele for £60 million, blood. That money is gone. Let it go. The money is gone.
Phil, listen, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming on.
You're very welcome to have a big up, yeah? Look, you
really
yourself to keep going, brother. Keep going. Believe me, I'm behind you.
Soon. Thank you very much, bro.
You're
Take
welcome,
care.
Savva. Big up, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So if you want to come onto the show and be like Phil, president, feel free. I have put the stream in the comment section. Please feel free to come on. Let me know whatever you want to discuss. Whatever you want to discuss, we can discuss. So I think Wow Factor, I think he was using Lukaku as a basis, not Lukaku the player. Who would like to come? Would anyone like to come on and share their opinion? If they would like to, there is the comments. Just quickly, for those of you that have joined, there's 105 of you in the chat, so welcome. Thank you so much for joining the show. I really appreciate it. I feel like I've been on quite a good journey in the last 3 months. It's been 12 and a half weeks since I restarted the channel. We're just over 1,500 subscribers, which is about 500 more than I thought I was going to be at this stage. So thank you to each and every one of you. There are only 43 likes and 112 of you in the channel. 43 likes. Surely, the other 50 or so of you can go and like. Just in case you did miss it, there is a fake channel going round about me called Savva Talks Arsenal. Of course, it's not me. Why would I create a channel about Arsenal? It's not me. Good God, people are childish. And I would guess that person was dropped on their head as a child. Guys and girls, anybody wants to come in, please do. If not, feel free to get some questions. Top 4 on a trophy has said a lot of Spurs fans don't realise we are playing catch up in terms of recruitment. To compete at the top, we need another 3 top class players. It won't happen, and we will win Net Spend Award again. I think there's some truth in that. There is some truth in that for sure. Look, I think when fans are saying we're going to win the league, we're challenging, I just feel like they've almost forgotten the last few years. Conte joining doesn't automatically override the need for top players. He can only do so much. In terms of the net spend, I guess we'll know more in a month's time when some players are going out the door. The only thing I would say on that is it appears that we're struggling to sell players, and most of them I'm seeing Hill on loan, being talked about on loan, and Ndombele being talked about on loan. Rodon's gone on loan. Tanganga, is that going to be a loan? Is that going to be a fee? Who knows? Paid a big money for Madison. Things look different. Yeah, we just don't do that, Peter, do we? We don't go for those type of signings, which is a real shame. Full Ball, welcome to you. It's Man City badge. Full Ball, are you really a Man City fan? And by the way, just so you know, if I've seen a few people pop into the backstage of the show, if there is no video on, I will not get you on. It needs to be a video of your face so I can see who I'm talking to. Full Ball has said Luan, Lotti, they can sign whoever they like, but they still won't be anywhere near the league title. Liverpool and us are clear as far as I'm concerned. Let's go into the back, and we have got Jamaican Spur. How are you, sir?
What's up, Savva?
How you doing? You well?
Good.
Are you out shopping or something? Where are you?
No, I'm at work right now, actually. I'm at work, you know. That's why I didn't have the video on.
No worries. So what is it that feel free to turn your video off now. I know who you are. What did you want to discuss, my friend?
I'm just disappointed in Spurs at this moment, man. Supporting Spurs all this time, getting all the crap from the rival fans, and it seems that this club just doesn't want to go forward, man.
So what would you want to see? What for you, not me, not everyone else in the chat, but for you personally, what would you consider the club moving forward? What do they need to do?
They need to just show some ambition, man. We're just getting in some mediocre players as far as I'm concerned. Ever since I've been a Spurs fan, the best players we've had are Bale and Modric, and we seem to sell those players. And at this moment, Son and Kane are going to be leaving because they're going to stay around and play with mediocre players. You know what I mean?
So
So
who would you like to see come in? What give me 2 or 3 names.
that's the thing too. That's the thing too. We're not competing for the top players. We're not even competing for any players. We're just going to get some average players and feeling that that's enough. But you know,
Is Madison the sort of player that you'd like to see?
well, I mean, it's better than what we've got. You know what I mean? That's the kind of. It seems like that's what we are doing. We're just taking the scraps after everyone has taken the top targets. We're just getting what's left. You know what I mean? I mean, the market isn't filled with a lot of players right now. You know what I mean? The quality of players are really the levels are being dropped from back in the days when you had Ronaldo and Messi and Ibrahimovic, and you could talk about some Radimal Falcao's and stuff like that. It seems average players are going for like millions right now. 60 million for a Richarlison. It's crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Hold that for 1 second. Junior, welcome to the show.
How you doing? You all right?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. What do you make of what the Jamaican Spurs has said? He has turned around and said he's disappointed. We're not moving the club forward. We're not getting the type of players we need. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think the trouble that we're in, you can't really expect Conte to move mountains in such a short space of time. But I know as a Spurs supporters, we've suffered a lot. So we want to try and catch up on the other team straight away. But I think it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle than that, personally. I think it's going to be a little bit harder than that.
So, okay. So if I was to say to you the 6 players we've signed already,
Yeah.
I think by now everyone knows my opinion on that 6.
Yeah.
Are you surprised in a good way? Are you surprised in a bad way? Is it what you expected from the 6?
Well, I'm a Tottenham supporter, and all my family are Arsenal supporters.
Oh.
So Arsenal, Liverpool. So I've had stick for men like my dad and everybody. So the slight little bit of excitement, we just get carried away because we're not really used to winning, and we've not really got nothing to look forward to. So we do get carried away. I get carried away sometimes. I at the moment I'm on holiday. I'm in Jamaica at the moment, and like my dad's a Liverpool supporter, and I'm telling him, yeah, oh, look, we're gonna sign this, we're gonna sign that. But the reality is we're far behind Liverpool, and he tells me all the time, and he winds me up about it, and it's the truth. We are far behind Liverpool.
So let me. Okay, so you've answered my question, but
yeah,
listen, I keep having these conversations, and everyone in my chat. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Not everyone in my chats, but loads of people in my chats and in the shows I'm in. They keep talking about. Welcome, Pete. I'll come to you in a second, bro. They keep telling me that Liverpool are going to drop off. That they're not as strong as they were last year.
I know.
I look at it, Junior, and I say, all right, you've lost Mane, but you've added Diaz.
Yeah.
You've now gone and got Darwin Núñez, who looks like a bit of a beast. I feel like they're stronger. What do you think?
I've been trying to wind up my dad, trying to say that he's going to drop points. But really, in reality, the heart of hearts, they're probably going to be around the 92, 93, 94 point mark again this season. They're kind of they're a good 7 games in front of us, 6, 7 games in front of us, where we're going to drop points and they're not going to drop points. That's the way I see it. And even some of the players that we've been linked with, I don't think we should take the blame completely, because Conte's just come to the club and we're trying to change the way we are to say that now we're serious. But how many top players really if you've got the pick of all the other 3 or 4 top clubs, are you really going to pick Spurs? Because I wouldn't pick Spurs, to tell you the truth. I'll pick another club if I was a top professional, and that's just the truth. So some of the players that we've been linked with, maybe it might not be the club's fault that we're actually getting them. It just might be a process for the really top players to realise that, hold on, we've changed it now. We're really moving forward with a strategical plan. And then that's how they go. Because in reality, the Milenkovic centre back is a good centre back. In reality, I've been watching him for a few seasons, and he's a really good player. But when we've been getting linked to Bastoni, to tell you the truth, I'd be really, really surprised if he was to come to Tottenham, even with the pull of Conte, because why would you really, if you was in his position? You've got to have a little bit of common sense, you know?
Absolutely. Just quickly, Julia. So first of all, welcome to Pete. Welcome to Aaron. Aaron, I'm going to come to you in a second. Just before I do, and it's great to see you because I keep chatting to you in chats all across YouTube, and good to see you, Pete. What do you make of all this? I mean, it feels like I say the overwhelming feeling, but it feels like there is a feeling of a twinge of disappointment. Are you on that train as well? Do you? I mean, I know your opinions, but what do you make of this? Are we catching City and Liverpool?
Don't be silly. We're getting lapped. We're getting lapped by City and Liverpool, mate. We're not catching them. I think one of your lads, I was listening, put a comment in saying you're letting the last 5 years or last 20 years experience judge this window. You're damn right, because we've seen this all before, so we know how this ends. So 100% we use that experience to judge this window, because how many times have we seen this? It's going back to Mourinho window, where all hope is, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Never materialises.
Going back to the AVB window as well, right?
Yeah. What was it? Moutinho and Hulk and all that, and David.
Yeah,
David
I remember that.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, I remember
Look
that.
how it ended. It just a quick downward spiral starts, and then before you know it, it's gone. Good night.
Hold that thought a second. Aaron, I'm coming to you. How are you, sir? You well?
Very well, and very nice to finally be on a show with Sav. I know we've bantered a lot in the chat, we've talked a lot, and we have a lot of the same opinions when it comes down to that four-letter word that we're probably not going to mention, Enoch, Levy. Yeah, you know, well, probably not a good time to do it this day, you know, this early afternoon. I agree with everything the boys have just said there, right? In regards to our transfer window, for me, I'm like 4 or 5 out of 10. It's underwhelming. We haven't shifted out the crap. You know, I know we've had, you know, obviously loan deals, which I think is good moves for Parrott and Scarlett. But I mean, we're still stuck with Undombelly and Celso, and we need this out. We can't have muck like that hanging around the training ground. You know, for me, you got to think about the youth system, the kids that are around, and looking at these players like Celso and Undombelly with the crap attitudes. And like it's bad influence, mate. It's bad influence. It's sorry. Hello to Danny Kiriakou in the comments there. And Scotty. Sorry, I got distracted there by the chat.
I think someone's watching the show, but they've got the radio on.
Yeah, I'm getting a double feedback. It's
someone needs to turn the radio down or whatever they're watching it on. Guys in the chat. Everyone needs to turn off any device that they're on. Guys in the chat, I want to talk about this comment that's on the screen. Welcome, Mark.
All right.
This is a question for all of you. This is the comment I'm normally faced with from ultra positive Spurs fans. It is, we have had a great window. We're not going to catch the top teams in one window, and it's that word that's thrown at me for the last 20 years. Have patience. My question to you guys, twofold. One, is it a great window? And two, right, if we're not going to use this window with Conte, the stadium, the training ground, the Champions League to try and catch the big boys, when exactly is that going to kick in? Mark, do you want to take this?
Yeah, you know what I think. Look, I know a lot of us Spurs fans have been saying, you know, sorry, can you see me? Sorry. A lot of Spurs fans have been saying, you know, it's a great window. I mean, yes, for me, it has been quite an okay window. Let's be fair. because what I think we keep forgetting is Antonio Conte has said to Paratici, these are the players that we want. These are the players that fit this profile. It doesn't matter how much you spend on these players, etc., but get me these types of players with this profile. And we keep all missing that point because a lot of Spurs fans, which are here, keep going on about, oh, like Richarlison isn't worth 60 million. This person, quite frankly, I don't give an absolute shit how much Spurs spend on a player. And let's be quite frank about this, because we can't all be Spurs' accountant and say, oh no, this player, the player is only worth as much as it is as they are to the manager at that time, and if they fit the profile, and if he feels that he can coach them into that profile, and that is it. So when we keep all gassing up and going, oh, let's get this person from abroad, let's get that person from abroad and pay, 60, 70, 80 million euros or whatever, it does not necessarily mean that that player is, no matter what form he's had in Serie A, League One, wherever he's come from, it does not guarantee that that player in the Premiership is going to hit the ground running and be absolutely fantastic. It just doesn't. Okay, it's not football.
Okay, Mark. So let me. I take your point on board completely. Look, we've all got different views. Let me open this up to some of the others then. So to jump on from Mark's point, and I love this. Rather than structured guests, just get everyone in and have a free for all, like the Royal Rumble back in the day. Sorry if I'm too old and if no one knew what the Royal Rumble meant.
I remember.
Good. Just checking.
We're all old boys, mate. We're all old boys here, obviously.
Yeah. We're all old boys here, mate. To be a Spurs supporter, we've got to be old because we ain't got no young supporters anymore. I tell you.
To not be an ENIC fan, you've got to be an old boy. That's my conclusion.
Yeah.
So going on from Mark's point, then, lads, somebody else come in on this because I completely get what you're saying. I don't necessarily go with that sentiment. I get it. For me, the only reason I care about the value of a player, Pete, you know this more than anyone, as an actual rule, I don't care. Why I do care is because it's Daniel Levy. Now, what I don't want is that Spurs fans go, well, we couldn't afford the right wing back we wanted or the attacking midfielder we wanted because we spent 60 million of it on this player over here. So
that is a good point.
What does anyone think? Has anyone got an opposing view to Mark?
Yeah,
in a respectful way, of course.
I think I agree with Sav there.
Go on, anyone?
I'll go.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I do respectfully disagree. I don't think it's been a great window at all. I think if you put a number of ratings on players from, say, 1 to 5 in our squad, a lot of our squad was on 1. Yeah, some of them are like Emerson Royal or -1, probably a bit more than that. But I think to go from 1 to 2 is not enough. We needed to go from 1 to, if you go 1 to 3, 1 to 4, we need to jump a bit more than we are because we're starting from such a low base. I think to upgrade by 1 notch on what we had is still nowhere near enough because what we had was what we have still, a lot of it is still so poor. We've seen it so far.
Can I just say one thing there though? But even though the players that we've got ain't the top echelons, they are still better than what we've actually got.
Yes, so I'm saying, but it's only a minor jump, isn't it? It's not enough to take us to another level. It's just enough to keep us where we are.
But what I'm saying to you though, the top pros like the Guardiolas and the Bastonis, that centre back from RB, why is he going to come to Tottenham for if we've got the other top teams that's interested in him?
I agree.
So that means that the club's hands are tied then. So even though they might have a budget, even though they might have Conte, the club's hands are still tied. We're in a better position than last year because of our manager and because ENIC seemed to be improving, but we're still not a serious top European football club in the eyes of other professionals, and that's just the way it is.
Can I ask?
I agree with that. Sorry, one sec. I think we're not asking for world-class players because we know we ain't going to attract them yet. We ain't got the prestige behind us there. But I think we should at least be getting class players and good players.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm yet to see it. Basuma's a good player. Perisic is a good player.
Yeah.
But in terms of class above, that we can turn and go, okay, that's a player there. We've done well to snatch him at his prime, in the peak of his contract, at the peak of his powers. Not done it yet. And that's what we...
I agree with you. I agree with you, but how do you get that player then? Because if Conte's only going to be here till the end of the season, would you sign a 3-year contract and he might be bringing in someone like Nuno next season?
That's down to Paratici to do. That's his job to do that, to talk about the philosophy of the club and all the rest of it, because he's supposed to be the continuing force behind everything. Regardless
can I just interject a point here?
Yeah.
What I always find is when speaking with fans about the level of player we can buy, I always feel, so if I use the right wing back, for example, because this is the best example of it from us Spurs fans, I always feel that the argument is, and I don't want to say leave you in, leave you out. I don't like that. The argument from the people that think that everything's fine is, well, we can't get Hakimi, so we got Spence. Now, my issue with these types of things is there is a whole raft of levels between Hakimi and what we actually got. I don't ever want to hear that, oh, well, we couldn't get Hakimi at 70 million, so we had to go back down to the Championship. That, for me, is the difference, because not every top club in Europe is going to be going for the same players as us. So when we lose out to a player, like, let me put it this way. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea have lost out on Rafinha and Koundé, right? None of their fans are going, oh, my God, our board. No, they're going, right, all right, we didn't get them. Let's try and go for Fofana. Let's try and go for Vardial. Let's go and get Cucurella. They just go from the one big target to the next one to the next one. Spurs fans are, oh, well, we can't get Bastoni and Vardial this window. So, well, let's bring in a 19-year-old from Peterborough and we'll try and get him next summer. Aaron, what would you make of that?
Well, sorry, I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chat, mate. So just hello to Gino in Kuala Lumpur, one of my best friends, mate, and Hashish Babu said earlier that Undam Bele is our French central attacking mid, mate. There's been no evidence of that to prove that he's. I mean, and where's the guy above Aaron? Sorry, mate.
I'm going to let people go. Junior, if you don't mind, Junior and Jamaican Spurt, I am going to let you go if that's okay, because people want to come in.
Mate. All right,
I can hop off too, Sav. So I'll listen in and I'll hop off, mate.
Aaron, cool.
Thank you.
I'm going to bring in. It's all good fun. This is all good fun. I'm going to bring in Bill. Bill, are you there?
So I talk sport is.
He's amazing, isn't it? Bill, hello, sir. How are you? Hello, Bill. Are you there? Bill?
Hey, mate. All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Are you well?
Fine.
It is a bad line.
Yeah, I think it's getting a bit better now.
No worries. What did you want to say, mate?
I'm not surprised by any of the transfer window. When we're linked with about 70 players in each position, you know what I mean? Fans get carried away thinking that's who we're actually going for, when in reality, we'll get Jed Spence or we'll get Fraser Forster. So, for me, I'm just not surprised anymore. We'll be. It's just disappointing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So can I ask them what sort of player would you have liked to have seen by now, Bill? Who would? What sort of names?
The top players. Don't be wrong. I'm like you. I want the top players. The only problem is we've never done it, so I'm not sure that we haven't done like the top players for big money. So I'm sort of just I'm at that point where what will be. It's just Tottenham, isn't it? Under ownership.
And I'm going to bring Mark back in after this, Bill. But Bill, 60 million Richarlison. Where do you sit with that? Can you hear me,
For
Bill?
me,
all right, you can. Go on.
with Richarlison, he's probably, with Perisic, the only that along with Perisic, is the only signing I would say Conte maybe wanted. But you've got to factor in like Dele Alli have anything to do with that deal.
Bill, we're really losing you with your signal, mate.
I'm not off, mate, and I'll see if I can come back on because it's just really, really bad. All right.
Okay, mate. Just quickly, Mark, let me bring you in here. Let's go to a few of the comments. And if anyone else would like to jump on, then please feel free to. Scott M is in the stream. Welcome, Scott. How are you, sir?
Good stuff. How are you, Savva?
Not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. Just before I bring you in, and we're going to get Lee from. We're going to get the Total Spurs TV. Lee, big up to you, sir. Are you well?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Good. I'm going to come to you in a second. Scott, I'll come to you as well. Just quickly, Mark.
Yes, mate.
I can never understand this sort of opinion, and this for me sums up Tottenham fans in a nutshell. That everyone else signs is poor, but no matter what we do is great. But the other teams keep winning everything. So Spence is not too bad. But you don't rate, not you, but this guy does not rate Cucurella that Chelsea and City both bid for.
Yeah. Because it's quite obvious, though, Savva. It's quite obvious how the way some Spurs fans think. They don't rate those people because they don't look at the bigger. It's about the manager. It's about the manager. It's half the time. It's not necessarily about the player. Because when you look back, 3 years ago now, when we got to the Champions League final, right? Look at the players that got to the Champions League final for Tottenham Hotspur. If Tottenham Hotspur had won that Champions League final, there's not one Spurs fan that will be sitting here and saying, "Oh my God, Eric Dyer is shit. Lucas Moura is shit. Blah blah is shit." There will be not one. So it's about the manager. It's about the manager. It's absolutely about the manager. That's why Pochettino, he said it himself. He lost interest after he lost that cup final. He lost interest. His mind wasn't right. So that comes from the manager. That motivation comes from the manager. He had the motivation to put up 2 league challenges, etc. Had the motivation. Got to look at the way he was when we got to the final of the Champions League. He was beside himself when we lost it, and we didn't turn up because the manager didn't actually have that winning mentality to get those players over the edge. That's why we lost that. If we'd have had Conte, Guardiola, Klopp, maybe even Tuchel, and even Mourinho, you know for a fact Tottenham Hotspur would have won the Champions League Cup final. It's as simple as that. So let's stop looking at these teams are going after these players because the managers know that they can change the players. It's a simple look at when Conte got in Lukaku, everybody in England was going, "Oh my God, Lukaku is shit for Man United," weren't they? They were. He should go. All of a sudden, Lukaku is one of the best fucking strikers in Europe under Conte. Then he goes back to Chelsea, a manager who doesn't play in his system, doesn't play it towards his system. That's why Lukaku's flopped. Now, where is he back to? Playing the same system at Inter Milan, which Conte played. It's the manager. It's as simple as that. It's jack shit to do with the player from here, there, and everywhere. Because as Alan Sugar used to say, It's not about fucking Carlos kicker balls. It's about the manager.
Right, let me bring in Scott just before I do. Please, in the chat, can we not have any conversation about race, religion, politics? This is football. None of that stuff matters. This is football. Scott, talk to me. There's a lot of merit in what Mark said. Yes, it's about managers, but surely you've got to have that Q word. There's got to be that quality to be able to come in and compete, and a manager can only do so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who picks the quality?
The chairman. The chairman. Hang on, Mark.
There's absolutely no way that we can say that Levi, even though I can't stand Levi, that he's picked every single player. It's no way.
We'll come back to that. Mark, we'll come back to the Levy chat. 1 second, I've got to get Scott in. Scott, to quote my mate this morning, he said to me, everyone at Spurs seems to think Conte can turn Big Macs into gaucho steaks. Talk to me, Scott. Talk to me about this.
I've said before, I kind of get a while ago that I'm getting tired of the Victor Moses, Ashley Young kind of narrative, right? He did it with two players, often different than the players that people use as example. Example, Spence. But he did it with two players, and now all of a sudden we imagine, Conte can just get any crap player and turn them into world class, right? That's like Ashley Young, Victor Moses were experienced players who were wingers that he took advantage of their skill set to make them successful wing backs in his system. They weren't 20-year-old kids coming from the championship with no experience at a top level side. It doesn't mean that he can take Eric Dyer, who's crap at center back, and all of a sudden make him world class. But because they have those two examples, it's all of a sudden, Conte can just make everybody world class. Like if it's that easy,
if you're a good coach, you can make
every single place you go, right? Have every Champions League. If all he can do is turn every crap player into world class players, I mean, he should win every single time if it's that easy.
Yeah, but he's not taking a crap player. What he's saying is that I can turn this player into a good player because he's not a crap player.
But he's not saying that. Fans are saying it. Conte saying he wants quality.
You can do it every single fucking time, and no one said a word.
Just quickly. All right, just quickly. I'm going to bring in Lee quickly. Before I do, I've got to go back on this. Faz, the basis on which I rate Cucurella as a good player is because we all saw what a wonderful footballer he was last season for Brighton and Hove Albion. He's come out of the Barcelona academy. You can see he's very comfortable on the ball. He's good in the tackle. If you can't see that, but rate Spence, that just stinks of bias to me. Lee, I'm going to bring you in here. First of all, welcome. I think it's the first time we've probably spoken.
Yeah.
Look, there's merit for both arguments, right? I get it. Football coaches should be able to make players better. I agree. However, there has to surely be that basis where we can't be looking at 5 or 6 positions in the team and going, he's going to upskill them all. Surely you can do it with 1 or 2, but you can't do it with half and 11, can you? Surely.
No. See, this is the issue. I think as fans, what we're forgetting is players have certain ceilings. We're talking about this ceiling thing. We're making do with what we've got. And I know a lot of fans will agree with me. Dyer, Davies, they've improved because they had to improve for Conte. If it was any other manager, they would still be in the same situation we were last year. It's simple as that, struggling. Now, for me, there is no more ceiling. I don't think Dyer can improve. We saw it in the last game. What was our weaknesses? Our set pieces, the corners, turning away. What defender turns away? Why do you do that? What is the point? I don't.
Because that's built into him now, right? That's his game.
It's got to be because he does it every fucking game or pretty much every game. And look, our players have got ceilings. We're making do, and we need quality. That's in certain areas, and we've not addressed some of that, and that's my issue.
So, Mark, let me bring you back in here again.
Yeah.
With the quality that Spurs have got in the squad at the moment, because we have got quality.
Yeah.
I think people get me wrong. I definitely think we've got quality, but as my uncle said to me yesterday, he said the problem is when you look at Man City and Liverpool and Chelsea, their quality overrides their mediocrity. If you look at the Spurs squad, our mediocrity overrides our quality. Now, don't you feel that there's still a lot of positions where we are scraping the barrel and trying to make players better than they are based off of the achievements Conte has had elsewhere?
Yes, I agree. But when you look at it football-wise, proper football-wise, that depends on, that all comes down to how you scout, what your scouting system is all about, really, and how thorough it is. Because Antonio Conte, when he came in, he said it straight away. He said it straight away, didn't he? He said the quality of signings, it's been signings all over the place, basically, but it hasn't been the signings to fit the profiles of the team, what you want to be. But that's what he's basically saying. So we have to restructure that. Teacher, we have to restructure that. And that is what we're doing. But that is a process. But all Spurs fans, or most Spurs fans, looking as if, just because we've got into the Champions League again, that, we should attract all these players. Now, we attract all these players. Let's say we get all these players, we spend £300 million. It still does not necessarily mean that all of a sudden we're on level par with Liverpool and Man City. It just doesn't mean that. What it means is that, does the coach want those players? We can have we can have another 10, really good names in this time, in this window. Does the coach actually want those players? Can the coach make it work? I mean, for God's sake, the man left just because they sold bloody Lukaku, who is a flop over here twice.
Okay, but just before we move on, first of all, Charlie, you can contact me via Instagram or on YouTube. Listen, apologies, there are so many comments. I can't read every single one. If anybody is making any comments that are of a racist nature or anything of that note, I will block you and ban you permanently and report you to YouTube. Please, can we not do that? This is football. This has got no place for any of that sort of chat. Please, I do not want that on my channel. And just quickly, I'm going to quickly move on to Scott. I've got to address, this guy is driving me crazy. Not you, Mark. Sorry, Faz in the chat. If any fan has watched football last season and cannot see that Cucurella is a very good player that is wanted by Chelsea and Manchester City, what are we doing here, Scott? What's going on that our fans, everyone else is poor that signs for the big clubs? What's going on here?
I'll give Faz credit. I've seen him on a lot of channels. He supports channels. I think that he is a full-on fan. I don't doubt that, but it's amazing that there's fans like him, and I'm using him as an example, but that will say every player we sign is great. Every player we have is great. And yet we finish, if I'm not mistaken, 7th 2 years ago, 6th last year, 4th this year, and every player on every other team is crap. Like, how does that make sense? How can every player on every other team be crap? Every player that everybody else is signing is crap. Everyone that we have is great. Every player we sign is great. And yet we're still struggling, losing out to Middlesbrough, struggling against Mura and Vitesse, finishing 6th and 7th in the league. Like, how does that make sense? I understand that people want to be excited for signings. That's great. But we have to at some point say, if everyone we have is great and everybody else has is crap and we're not winning everything, maybe we need to relook at how we're rating everybody else. And I mean, Faz will say like, oh, if it was Cucurella, you guys would say it was a crap signing. But that's what we've said. I've heard you say Basuma, quality signing. Perisic, quality signing. Like and maybe
Scott, if you've been watching my shows, anyone would know that I've said Cucurella is an absolute no-brainer of a signing. I just feel that we do this so much. Like, I'm looking at, let's use, for example, Chelsea and Liverpool this window, right? And City. Let's go with the three best clubs in the last decade in this country, bar no one, right? The most successful clubs in this country. Man City have just signed Calvin Phillips from Leeds, and fans go, "Well, Calvin Phillips isn't any good. Pep doesn't buy bad midfielders, right? Haaland's going to flop. Imagine if Haaland had signed for Spurs, we'd be saying he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. Man City, Sterling's rubbish. Sterling misses so many chances, but has got the same goals to games ratio as Heung-min Son, who our fans tell me should win the Ballon d'Or, right? And then you look at Koulibaly. Oh, I don't know. Is he ready for the Premier? Mate, I do not get it. But then, Scott, sorry, I'm on a rant now, Scott. I'm on a rant. Then Spence, wonderful prospect. Basuma, the best midfielder in the world. Richarlison, oh my God, he's Brazil. Why is every signing we make brilliant? Other clubs win. What has to happen for this mindset to change?
Nothing. Because we've already seen results have already shown us that it isn't. So if they're not going to look at results on the field, nothing's going to change. They're just going to keep saying it.
And you know another thing? Oh, sorry, Scott.
Go, Lee. You're good.
No, I was just going to say another thing, Savva. What I seem to be getting from people and fans is because we haven't had this activity in the past, signing 6 players so early on in the window, right?
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden the best window. Don't get me wrong. We have got some players. We've got some cracking players. We bought some cracking players. Perisic, Basuma, yeah, fine. Yeah. But because we've brought in so many players, it's all of a sudden, it's the best bloody window in the world. Great, yeah. Look what we're doing. We're top of the transfer part. You know what I mean? We're the top of that. Beating Arsenal. No, look, we need to set our levels a little bit more. We're a Champions League team now. We need to be signing Champions League players or quality experience. We need that. We can't be pissing about. This is a vital season for us, Conte. Kane, Son. I mean, they're getting on a bit. We need to do something and sharpish. And if we're not, sorry.
No. God, mate. I was just going to say. I think when I hear fans, first of all, I tell you what, I hate being told. I hate being told to be patient when we're.
Yeah, sorry, it's not every Spurs fan, Brian. I'm majority fans.
I use that saying all the time. It's good, right? I keep getting told that, be patient, and it's a project, and this will take 3 years. For the fans that are telling that, I've heard that with AVB, I've heard that with Martin Yole, I've heard that with Harry Redknapp, with Poch, with Jose, with Noon. I've heard that with everyone, right? Now, on top of that, what I've also heard, right, this is what cracks me up about our fans. In 3 years' time, Heung-min Son and Harry Kane are going to be 33 and 32, right? Are we really going to say we're going to have wasted their peak years between the ages of 25 and 31 without building a team around them capable of winning things? This is my point. So what do you make of that, guys? They're not going to be forever.
Sorry. How do we know with having one of the top managers in the world, how do we know that we are not doing that? How do we know that? Because the other 3 teams as well, certainly the top 2 are just much stronger than us. Okay. So let's run through the other teams and their signings, right? We didn't know. Nobody in the Premiership, because nobody else went for these players, right? When Pep Guardiola bought the likes of Rodri, no one knew what they were like when Pep Guardiola bought the other. What's the other guy? His name is great.
Mark, hang on.
You may have known, but no other manager went for those players. What manager did Jurgen Klopp go for those players? Absolutely not. Did at the time any Chelsea manager go for those players? Absolutely not. That's the other top 2 clubs. And who else was after that? Oh yes, it was us. Did we know? No, absolutely not. Because of their scouting and their ability of scouting. That's why Pep Guardiola is streets ahead. It's as simple as that. That's why now Jurgen Klopp has caught up because he's streets ahead. Now we have one of the top 3 managers in the world, or top 5, or whatever you want to call it. Now, ours will start getting a little bit more streets ahead. But there's
it's
no
not, is it? But it's not, Mark.
I'm sorry, hang on. Decide to win anything. It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. Listen, look, just because many fans don't watch other leagues doesn't mean that Rodri was an unknown or Cancelo was an unknown.
I didn't say that, but how many clubs in the Premiership, apart from Man City, went for Rodri?
Well,
how do we know?
We spent 62 million for him. How many clubs are spending 62 million for a player? Like Rodri wasn't some surprise. He was playing for Spain.
I'm not saying that, but how much did he pay for him?
62 million.
50 million? What was he, Scott?
62 million.
62 million. And can I just say, for me, I'm going to say it. For me, the most underrated player.
That puts him in.
Oh, he's gone.
Mark?
Yeah, another time, that puts him in the upper echelons of players, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this that doesn't change the original point, which was that you have to have the quality. When you're saying, how do you know we're not building a winning squad? Because our squad is nowhere right. Our squad is nowhere near City and Liverpool. So when people talk to me about winning titles, right, people need to stop. I'm not saying you, but people need to stop. We're not winning a title. Right?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I didn't say about winning titles. What I said is a winning squad. And that necessarily means titles. That means just winning, for crying out loud, a Carabao Cup. That's a winning squad. What I am saying, with a world-class manager, this is what happens. This is what happens. Now, when you look at those players, what the Man Cities and Liverpool have signed, and they've signed them so straight away under any type of radar, and no one else can say, "Oh yeah," but when do you ever see Man City and Liverpool going after the same player? Never.
Yeah, but they played. Yeah, but they play different. Yeah, but
exactly. So you sign candidates to suit.
All right, slow down.
Oh, God. It's not rocket science.
Okay, slow down. Mark, slow down. Right, first of all, before I move on back to Scott and Lee, there are 175 people in the chat and only 87 likes. Please smash that like button. It is free for you, and it means the world to me. And also, if you are in the chat and you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm on a mission to get to 2K by the time I get to 13 weeks old as a channel. By the time I get to 14 weeks old, that gives me 2 weeks to get 500 subscribers. It's bold, but I'm going for it. Scott, let me bring you in here. First and foremost, for me, I think a lot of people seem to get it confused. When I'm not talking about we should be challenging Man City and Liverpool now, right? I just can't understand how, not you, Mark, but I can't understand how so many fans, just because of Conte, have suddenly made this leap that we were here 20-odd points back. We're now in the mix with these two. Can you put a justification forward for me as to why?
No, unfortunately, I'm at the same boat as you are. I don't understand how part of it is everybody keeps talking about how Liverpool's going to drop off and everybody else is going to drop off. I haven't seen the evidence of that. Like that is where I start to be confused. For us, I think people confuse sometimes. Our team can actually improve the quality from last year and not necessarily catch City and Liverpool, right? I think that we might be better, but that doesn't mean that just because we're improving that we automatically are going to jump up 16 points and make up the gap, right?
Exactly.
I think the point is, this is one of the things that I hear a lot from people when they say City and Liverpool. Oh, we're going to, City and Liverpool. Oh, we're going to buy 6 players and then we can match them. They often forget too that those clubs also buy players in the same windows, right?
Yeah. Everybody's improving. Everybody.
City just bought Holland to come into their squad and lost Jesus. I rate Jesus, but I mean, there's no doubt that Holland is a massive improvement over Jesus. I would argue that upgrade that they made there might be bigger than any upgrades we made in our squad, right? So I don't get it. And I just wanted to say, like what you were saying about being patient. And when people say be patient, like you said, Son is 30, Kane is 29, Hugo is 35. We have shown no ability to replace any of those players at all. None at all.
And that clock is ticking.
We are now going to say we're going to be patient for 2 years, and those guys are going to be 32, 37. Like, why do we think that we are at any point going to be able to replace them or bring somebody in to play for them? So now is the time. Like, patience for what? We had patience. Patience,
and that's why that's an obvious answer, because you have to. The reason why you have to be patient, because what happens while you have to be patient is that you have to attract these players. You don't just get in the Champions League. That's why I don't understand some of these Spurs fans. You don't just get in the Champions League. What you do, you have to start winning cups. You don't have to start even winning the league. I mean, Liverpool won the league, yes, but then they haven't won it for the last couple of times. So
we have to start being consistent to win cups.
Yes, exactly.
Surely.
So what you have to do is start winning cups. And when you start winning cups and you're in and around always the top 4, top 3, you will start attracting these other players. And until you're at that stage, and the thing is, what we keep thinking about is because we was at that stage twice under Pochettino. But the problem is we didn't invest. And Pochettino was so lackluster as well. We just went to Daniel Levy, oh, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
When he shouldn't have done.
I agree. Listen, on that we agree. I'm an advocate that we've got to be winning cups. I don't agree. I don't subscribe to some of these channels that keep putting out messages to people that winning trophies isn't a benchmark of success. Those fans, to me, are failures. They're failures as football fans. I don't care if the person I'm talking about knows I'm talking about.
Isn't a trophy.
No, I agree with you.
Let me isn't going to bring the players in. It doesn't matter what we do, right? We haven't shown any ability, any willingness to bring those players in, to pay those wages or do anything. We've never done that.
Start winning cups.
Okay, let me move this forward.
I don't think winning cups was changing Levy's opinion on that.
I agree. Let me move this forward, Lee. This comment here is yet again another one of those comments where I don't think people think before they speak. When we say Liverpool were nowhere near winning the league, they had patience with Klopp and the rest was history. I just want to say that with this, Liverpool also went out for a world-class centre-half, a world-class goalkeeper, and kept buying top quality. If Spurs wait for years like these people are suggesting, as Scott alluded to, you alluded to, I alluded to, Kane, Son, Lloris, right?
Conte.
Is Romero going to stick around for that? You know, all of these players, it's not a case of us fans being patient. Surely it's got to be now or never, because I keep hearing this patient line every single window.
Every time. Listen, the fact of the matter is we've got Conte. Now, we know when Conte goes to teams, he's done it with previous teams, he expects to win. Now, however ludicrous it sounds about us winning the league, we know that's not going to happen. We know that at the moment. But Conte's expecting that, but he also expects the players to come in, right? And now go just quickly, Sav, I just want to quickly go back. I know you just made this point, but going back to the signings, just quickly, Liverpool, City, they'll go, there you go, there's the money you want. There's the money. We're not going to bother even haggling with you over it. We want that player. We want him to, represent our team, do well for our team, and we want to progress. Here's the money. Big teams do that. We go in, I'll tell you what, we give you 20 million plus one of our players and a bloody skywalk. There's levels. And, it just pisses me off. It's like, why can't we ever just go out and go, bang, do that, get that play, get that bang. We've got our defence sorted out.
But Lee, this is what you get. Sorry, and listen, I'm not picking on people in the chat. I bring up the points that I feel are controversial because that makes for good debates, right?
Yeah.
If I brought up all the comments that just said, oh, Savva, you're amazing. Someone said I look like a Calvin Klein model last week.
Wow.
That was nice to see. I like that. My missus completely disagrees and thinks she can do better, but never mind. When you look at this comment, what I don't get is I don't think Spurs fans are crying out for the elite players.
No.
As I said earlier, I keep hearing that, well, we can't get elite players because they'd rather go Chelsea, City or Liverpool. But I'm talking about, why can't we get a James Maddison, who's at Leicester City. No
because
offense.
we don't go in for that with that. We don't go, there you go.
Right. Why
That's a
can't we
fact.
get an undercar from Frankfurt? Right. Why can't we get Milenkovic Savic from Lazio? No disrespect, but
Kostic, 15,
Why?
12, 15 million, bang.
But we
Easy.
can. But we can.
But we can't. When do we do it?
We can, because you can't have it both ways. So if Daniel Levi decides, because of the fan base, that, you know what, these are the players that we'll like in, but the manager doesn't, what happens then? The manager has to sanction these signings. The director of football has to sanction these signings. You can't. We're moaning about the old days of we just go and get anybody and the manager doesn't want them. I mean, God almighty, let's look at Ndombele, prime example. If we go and do that and then the manager doesn't like them, doesn't play them, what happens next?
Okay,
What
Mark.
happens
So
next?
you're telling me that Antonio Conte, one of what I'm told is one of the best managers in world football right now by the whole Spurs fan base.
Yeah.
You're telling me when he gives his lists of players to Paratici that he chucks in Fraser Forster, Jed Spence. Hang on, let me finish, right? You're telling me that he goes, get me Forster, Longley, Spence, right?
No, he
doesn't. You're telling me if he was offered Milenkovic Savic, players like that he's going to go, nah.
No.
I don't want top players like that.
No. Antonio Conte doesn't go around Europe listing all different players' names. We know that. It doesn't make any sense. How do we know that? What Antonio Conte does, and it's quite obvious, this is football. He has a system, and he probably plays the system 3 different ways. What he says is that I need a player that can do X, Y, and Z. That's what he says. Then Paratici says, okay, then I will go around Europe because that is my damn job to find a player that does X, Y, and Z. So it doesn't actually matter where they come from. As long as that player can do X, Y, and Z. It doesn't matter about the name.
Hang on. So what we're saying is Paratici went and did a round European tour and ended up in Middlesbrough. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me of every. This is what I mean.
Look, he was looking, and plus, don't forget you've got a budget. Don't forget you've got a budget and you've got wages to spend, and you've got to put that on there. There's no way if we, because let's put, for instance, like a Denzel Dumfries. Of course, my God, Dumfries, perfect. But we could, after we went to Bastoni, which we knew we couldn't get because he wanted to stay, we could really go and say, okay, we'll take Dumfries. He didn't. Why? Not because Dumfries was expensive, because Conte's gone, well, I don't quite want him. Otherwise, he would have taken Perisic and Dumfries. It's the reason. You can't tell that Daniel Levi has got that much influence in that side that he goes,
of course he has.
No
of course he has. He writes the checks.
Right.
Scott, let me bring you in. Let me bring you in. Right? Scott.
Okay.
So we didn't. Conte doesn't want Dumfries, but he did want Jed Spence. That is what I'm hearing.
He already said he didn't want Jed Spence. I don't know Conte. I have never, surprisingly, I've never met him. But I'll go back on what he's done in his past. I can only go back on what he's done in his past clubs. Never in his past clubs has he said, give me that 21-year-old unexperienced player and I'm going to use him, right? That's all I'm going against. But now he comes to Spurs, and surprisingly enough, just like we saw with other managers that have been here, they all of a sudden change their approach, right? We have Jose comes to Spurs. He doesn't want experienced center backs. He wants Rodon.
And you know why that is, Scott? Do you know exactly why that is?
In Doherty, not a right back, right? He wants a defensively weak right wing back in Doherty. That's what he wants. Never done that before in his career, but magically he comes to Spurs and everything changes. Like, how much more evidence do we need to see from people before we can start saying that Levy is having the impact? Right?
Jose Mourinho have a director of football.
Mark, we've lost your
Jose
sound.
Mourinho didn't have a football director.
Yes, he did. Listen, I'm sorry. Okay, look, I'm going to move the conversation on from this, but as it's my show, I'm going to have the last word, just because I'm just that guy. If anybody is telling me that I said this at the time, I said this at the time of the Jose Mourinho window, right? I said, if anyone's telling me that Jose Mourinho, the serial winning manager that he is, has turned around, forget whether you like him or you hate him, he's a serial winner. If anyone thinks he turned up at Spurs and went, the players I need Gedson, Bergwijn, Vinicius, Joe Hart, Roden, and Doherty. If anyone believes
he didn't.
Jose said that,
he didn't.
The same. Hang on. The same way, I am not believing that Conte said of all the centre backs, Long lay on loan. Of all the right wing backs in world football, Spence. I'm not buying it, chaps. I'm not buying it.
And you know what it is? My point earlier on.
Hang on, Mark. Let Lee go.
Sorry, just quickly, Mark. Sorry, mate. Just quickly. And this is the problem with Spurs, and it has been for a long time. We've always been a make-do club, never a do. Okay? And that's the problem. We make do. Oh, it's okay. We can chuck him in at right back because give him a couple of years, he'll bed in. We're getting firing. No, we're critical now. We need it now. We need players now. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We got some good signings, like I said before. Fine, but we can't just have people coming and going. Oh yes, well, it's going to take 6 months to a year. We haven't got that. Conte's not going to be. You know what I mean? If it's not going well for Conte, he's going to flip, and we know that, don't we? Deep down.
And just quickly, just before I move on, guys and girls, please, 172 of you in the chat now. Welcome to everybody from all clubs, wherever you are in the world. Everyone is welcome. Just a few things. We're stuck on 104 likes, 171 of you in the chat. And if I could get 10 more people subscribed to me in the next half an hour, I would be eternally grateful. I'm on 1,520. And I have just put the link in the chat if anyone would like to make a point. I'm going to move this on. Scott, I want to come to you on this question now. I keep hearing that Tottenham are now much stronger than Chelsea Football Club and that we're going to finish third. Chelsea have completely fallen off the wagon. They are in disarray. What do you make of those comments?
I mean, I can see if you're just looking at a surfacely, it looks like it, right? Like, oh, they didn't get Rafinha, they didn't get Koundé. But what I would say about that is they didn't get those players, and now they've clearly moved on. Like, they're not just like, oh, we didn't get them, now we don't have a plan. Like, they clearly have a plan. I think what would be concerning for us about Chelsea is that we weren't sure what was going to happen with Roman, right? After Roman left, we don't know what they're going to do. And I think these new owners have come, and I might say this a little biasly because they are American owners. I'm Canadian, obviously, but I know the American sports market, and I've seen what they've done with the LA Dodgers. And I think that these guys, they might not be Roman in terms of just spending hundreds of millions on them, but they are clearly coming to compete. They are clearly coming to keep Chelsea as a top club. And I think that's what concerns me, is that they're showing that, yes, they didn't get Koundé, they didn't get Rafinha, but they're moving on to other players. We didn't get Bastoni, and we seem to kind of have fallen off, right? We haven't got a right wing back. We seem to have fallen off.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think the reports of Chelsea kind of falling apart and being in disarray are a little bit false. And I think
and the difference between that, Scott,
shown that they are going to, well, not be Roman Abramovich, they're going to be quality ownership, and that they're going to make necessary moves. Now, you know what? If it comes September 1st and they weren't able to make those moves that I think that they're still trying to make, hey, fair enough. Then we can have the discussion. But as of right now, I don't see anything to indicate that we have clearly passed them. I think we might be close to them. I think it might be, a race for third and fourth. But no way have we clearly passed them. No way are they in disarray and falling apart.
So Lee, let me come to you then with this one. I mean, I tried to break this down last night on the Spurs Corner. To fans telling me that they're awful and our squad is better. And I'm going to make assumptions here on on free signings. I'm making assumptions on free
Right,
signings.
okay, yeah.
But if I'm just going to, Mark, I'm just going to put you on mute because I can just hear the road noise. Okay. If Chelsea, what has been reported, get Cucurella, Dumfries, and either Vardiel or Fofana, this is their squad, which apparently is not as good as ours. Forget the keepers, whatever in goal, right? Their right back options will be Dumfries and Reece James, and their left wing back options will be Cucurella and Ben Chilwell.
Yep.
Their centre back options will be Vardiel stroke Fofana, Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Chalobah, and Sarr. Their 6 central midfield options, will be, and all different types of players, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher, and Mason Mount. And then their forward line, admittedly, they probably need a natural goal scorer, but you've still got Sterling, Werner, Havertz, Ziyech, Odoi, Pulisic. Now, I'm not saying they'll all be there, but what they'll do is a couple of them will go and then they'll go and buy a couple more. I now look at us and go, our first choice right wing back, whoever it is, doesn't even make their squad. Yeah. Other than Perisic, Sessegnon doesn't make their 25-man squad. Only Romero for a centre-back option makes their team.
Yeah, yeah.
From central midfield, I mean, you can argue the toss, but Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Gallagher, Strong. Yeah. All right, our front three go in there. I know that was really long-winded, Lee, but I'm just trying to get to the point. How are fans not looking at that squad and thinking, Jesus, that's a lot stronger than ours?
Because I think some fans, not all, some fans are just getting excited by the window. Listen, you know, that what you just read out, that Chelsea team as it stand or as it will stand, mate. You got to say that's be pushing top 3 for them. I mean, I'm not being funny. I mean, look at who you just read out. If we had 3 of those players in our team, just 3 of those that right wing back option, Cucurella. I mean, Jesus Christ, he improved us fucking a million times. Do you know what I mean? No, I think you answered the question there. I don't think I have to say much, mate, to be honest. It's crazy. Don't get me wrong, everyone's got their opinion. I respect that. But you got to be realistic. We've got to be realistic.
Just quickly, Brian, when I'm saying that what Chelsea might have, let's be really, really honest. They're going to wrap up this Cucurella deal. Unless Man City come in and go 55 million, there is no reason for Cucurella not to leave Brighton and Hove Albion to go and play at Chelsea on probably 100 odd grand a week in the Champions League. All right? Dumfries, they will snap up and they will get a top centre half. The difference between us and them, Brian Murphy, is when they go out, notice how it only came out yesterday they wanted Cucurella, and today they've had a fee accepted. Paratici goes into a meeting and 3 weeks later, we're still in talks with a player. Come on, Brian. We all know how this goes. Mark, let me bring you back in here. What do you think? Are Spurs stronger than Chelsea?
What, for next season?
Yeah.
No, not for next season. Chelsea has still got the same players there that finished above us. So, apart from Lukaku, as far as I know, yeah, Christensen and Rudiger's gone, but Chelsea still have the buying power, and the one of the most significant things is that Chelsea will pay.
That's right. Exactly.
At the end of the day, a footballer is still a job. Chelsea will pay more money. It's as simple as that. Because we could argue, why didn't we go in for Raheem Sterling, who's only cost £45 million? Because we could afford it. But is Raheem Sterling at a prime age going to settle for the maximum what we paid, which is what, 250 grand a week maximum? It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Simple as that.
Okay. Here you go. Wolves FI. Let's have a look. Just saying, I have heard Savva, good, nearly got my name right, praise West Ham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and maybe even Man U signings, but has downplayed Spurs signings. Even the UK media has called Spurs window the best. First and foremost, let me pick you apart here, Wolves F1. First and foremost, if anyone does listen to what I say, you choose to listen to the ones that I don't rate. I've already said I really rate Basuma. I really rate Perisic. I don't mind Longley. I think he's a decent centre-back. I've got no problem with him. Richarlison at 60 million for a bloke that I don't think is as good as the three we have. Questionable, but he's okay. Spence, another young signing, and Forster's a backup keeper. I don't really care. It's all about the difference. Man, West Ham are in the Conference League and have gone and got a player like Skamaka, attempting to buy a player like Kostic.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll praise that. Fair play to them for doing that. I haven't praised Arsenal. I think Arsenal have made a couple of really good signings in Zinchenko, in Jesus. I think they've made some very risky signings as well. But listen, the reason I am who I am is I don't listen to the mainstream media. If I listen to the mainstream media, Spurs are going to win a trophy every single year for the last 20 years. So you're trying to call me out. Not going to work, my friend. Let's talk about that then. Scott, I'm going to come to you. Actually, just before we come to that, somebody up here has talked about an attacking axis. Mate Belotta has said, who in the Premier League has a stronger attacking axis than Son, Perisic, Kane, Kulusevski? Now, I don't think many people would disagree with this, Scott, but I feel that our fans concentrate so much on the top end of the pitch that we kind of forget that it's this end of the pitch and getting the ball to them, which is what wins your titles. But what do you reckon, mate?
I mean, my response, and I said it in the chat too, and I've said it before. How long have we had Kane and Son as the top two attacking players, right? I mean, we've had that for 4 or 5 years. We've had Kane and Son, world-class top attacking duel in the league. And what has it got us? Right?
It's got us goals. That's about it.
Right? We've had that world class. And then so maybe you add Kulu to it. Debatable if that makes us better. I don't think we're better than Liverpool or City in that respect, but let's say we are. Is he that much difference to just saying we've had Kane and Son who are amazing, world class, or I don't want to say world class, amazing duo, right? Top of the league. And now just adding Kulu, all of a sudden we're making up 20 points on City and Liverpool. Like, I think we've seen that. I think we've seen having a few top level players isn't enough. You need the whole squad. And that's what goes back to Wolves FI saying about, Spurs have the best transfer window. Well, let's say we do have the best transfer window. We're not even going to debate about it. But if we have the best transfer window, still have Emerson Royale or Matt Doherty or Jed Spence playing right wing back, and we go out and finish third. Is that like, are we who had the best transfer window? Like, that's what frustrates me when people say we've had the best transfer window. The media says we've had the best transfer window, but if we're not addressing the needs that we have, then who gives a crap, right? Like, it's not about who has the best transfer window. It's about who addresses their needs, who comes away with the best thing. And I would say City, for example, has a better transfer window than us because they went out and they've addressed their needs much better than we have, even though they haven't signed 6 players.
Okay, so first of all, hello, mate. I'll come to you in a second, and I'm going to come to Brian Daigle as well. But Lee, just quickly, hello, Brian. God, I'm getting the whole of Canada is infiltrating my StreamYard. Lee, just quickly on that, this notion that Spurs have won a transfer market. First of all, what does that mean? How do you win a transfer market? Secondly, why have we won a transfer market? Because when I look at Calvin Phillips, Haaland, Alvarez, I'd rather those 3 joining my club than all. So why have we won a transfer market?
It goes back to the thing I said earlier. It's because we're not used to this movement in the window, and because we've got players at a bargain price or a couple of Perisic free, Basuma 25 mil. Because we've got those type of players. All right, I actually rate Langley. I like Langley a lot. But because we've got those players in, and we've never seen this movement, like I said before, I think a lot of fans are just going, yeah, look at the 6 players in, and we're not really looking at the quality, are we? You know, I'm not talking. All right, Forster, solid backup goalkeeper, but you know, it had to happen. It was just something they had to bring in. You know, I think it was just a quick grab him. He was free. Let's do it. But yeah, I don't look elite players. I don't think necessarily you need elite players to win any transfer window. You need the right players. You need the players that the Conte wants, and it's going to fit the system. It's as simple as that. And if we manage to get another 2 in, maybe 3, high hopes, and it fits the system, then fine. But I can honestly say no. I don't think we've won the transfer window. We've done okay. We've done good, but I don't think we've not done brilliant. I'm sorry. I'm going to be called negative now, but you know.
No, don't worry, mate. That will all be aimed at me. Don't worry. I'll take the heat on that. How are you, my man?
Right.
Long time no speak.
Yeah, I'm good. I've been listening to your show for the past hour because I came back from working it. So
I've got a lovely voice tonight.
Yeah, the first thing I heard was about what's his name? About Chelsea, of course, and there was something else which really triggered me about Jed Spence.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. So I mean, let's be honest. Spence is not a Conte signing. I'm going to put it out there now. Like he even bloody said it in the fucking statement. It goes, "This is the club signing." I don't know how anyone can sit here for me and debate that and say.
And Conte has to say, yeah, well, as a club decision, he has to say.
But like,
he doesn't.
It's like, how would Conte? Like, let's be honest here. How would Conte even know who Jed Spence even is?
One time, what did we play against him once, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah. How would he have literally sat and wrote a list, and said, "I want these players, these players, these players," and Jed Spence have really come off as a player. Let's be honest, no. I'm sorry.
Just quickly, before we go on, just quickly. Right, there's 195 of you in the chat, 112 likes. Please smash that like button. I'm going to come back to you in a second with Spence chat. Mr. Daigle, how are you, sir?
I am fantastic, Savva, buddy. How are you?
I'm really well. I just love your voice. I love your beard. Everything about you is wonderful to look at. Talk to me, Brian. Listen, the structure went out the window about an hour and a half ago here. This is talk to me about Tottenham. For me, I feel like it's been a decent window. Yeah, I'm not knocking it. It's been decent. Is it this earth-changing window that so many fans seem to think have Liverpool and City quaking in their boots?
So the way I look at it right now, it's changing for Tottenham, like people have said, because we brought players in early.
Right.
And we brought players in that have Premiership experience. This is all new to us. And do you know what? Fair play. We've started doing things differently. Doesn't mean because we started doing differently that everything's worked and everything's brilliant. The things that we're missing right now is, if you look at it, we blatantly need a centre-back. Blatantly haven't kept a clean sheet in pre-season. Whether I don't really take pre-season seriously till the Rangers game, but you can blatantly see we need a centre-back. And if you look at our history, when we know we've needed a backup for Kane or competition for Kane, it's taken 8 years to find one that can actually do the job. When you look at Moussa Dembele, who left the club, and we knew we needed a replacement or a player that could do that job, we had to wait 4 years. So it seems to be these areas. Don't get me wrong. Do I think Richarlison is going to turn out to be a great buy? I do. I really do. I think he will. By the end of the season, to me, he's one of those players that you hate to play against, but you love to have on your team. Whether he'll be like exactly, like those ones. I think he will be something. Perisic for me is the marquee signing. Longley, I understand. Spence, I want better. I want Dumfries. That's the one. Listen, I'd love Hakimi, but that's not gonna. I can't see us doing it.
No.
We'd love it, but Dumfries, if you bring in a Dumfries, straight away you've got that left wing back, right wing back partnership that you don't even need to work on because they're used to it. They don't need the demand of learning a Conte structure. They've got it. It just makes sense.
Just quickly, guys, I'm just going to bring on the youngest fan I think we've ever had who would like to say a few words.
Be
Taylor,
nice, people. Be nice.
I understand, Taylor. What, you 13? Taylor, you there? Taylor, can you hear us?
Muted.
Oh, Taylor, you're muted, mate. Can you hear us? We'll try and get you back on, Taylor. We'll try and get you back on. Always important to include everyone. I want to move on. Mark, talk to me about this comment. Again, this stinks to me of every other club that makes signings is shit and ours are amazing. Have Man U had a really bad window? Christian Eriksen on a free is an absolute no-brainer. Lissandro Martinez, who's by all accounts a very, very good defender. Malacia, probably less known. Have they had a terrible window?
No, of course they haven't. Of course they haven't. They've had quite a decent window. I hate to say, but they have. And when you think, yes, they were absolutely diabolical last season, and yes, us as a club, we managed to capitalise on that. But let's face it, that they've probably got a better manager in because no one had, knew what the other manager could do or whatever. But they've probably got a better manager in, and they've managed to retain a little bit of a core. And let's face it, some players may step up. We don't know. This is what we can't say. So, no, for people to say Man United have a terrible window, I don't think so, because they'll probably get more anyway. And plus, you have the draw of Man United, regardless of them being in the Champions League or not, or wherever they are. They have the draw. It's it's probably one of the world's biggest clubs, let's face it. And you have the draw of they can still pay the wages. It's as simple as that.
Yep, the name draws players in.
Just quickly, I just want to try and give my man one more chance. Taylor, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Taylor. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Taylor, we can't see your face. And is that a Barcelona top you're wearing, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, are you a Barcelona fan or a Spurs fan?
No, I'm a Spurs fan.
Okay, so talk to me, Taylor. Welcome. What are you hoping for this year, mate? What do you think Spurs can do?
I think top 4, but I don't think our signings have been the best.
Okay, why not?
Well, the players we've
have we lost you again?
In the Champions League.
Yeah. Say that again, Taylor.
Hello?
Hi, mate. Say it again.
We've got, the players we could have got them if we.
Oh, I think I know what he's saying.
Yeah. Taylor, are you saying that we could have got these players if we weren't in the Champions League? I think that's what he was saying. Let me carry on that theme then. Scott, this was the big thing that I've put out on my shows a million times, is that other than maybe Perisic, is there one of these signings we couldn't have made if we were in the Europa League?
No, that's what Perisic is the one signing that's different from what we've done in the past, right? He's something that we wouldn't have done in the past. Every other one are similar to what we've done. They're players that we could have got pre-Conte, this big $150 million investment or pound, sorry. And I think that, it's nice to see, again, we got more players maybe than we normally, obviously than we normally would, but I'm not sure I've seen any big changes or signs that we're making big changes. And maybe that if we would have got Bastoni, if he would have been willing to come, that would have been something, but we haven't seemed to done something to match the top teams in paying wages that they do. I think Mark was kind of talking about that earlier. Is that, Chelsea goes out, they pay the wages, right? We're talking about Sterling. They pay those wages when they're big. We haven't really gone out and brought somebody in who we normally wouldn't bring in. That doesn't mean, before everybody freaks out in the chat, that these players aren't good. It doesn't mean that Basuma isn't a quality player that's going to help us, but he is. I mean, if you're talking about bringing in a guy from, I think, 10th, 11th place team in the Premier last year, who's on the last year of his deal, that's the kind of moves that you would expect us to make. It's the kind of move that Arsenal could make without Champions League. So, yeah, I think Perisic is the one that's a little bit different. I think he's somebody who you see. I assume Conte had a big influence on that. him coming here, us having Champions League. But outside of that, we're not really seeing a lot of like, I don't know, transformational, or everybody saying like, oh, look at this big new window from Levy. We're seeing a big change. I'm not seeing that quite yet.
Okay, I'm gonna go for another 25 minutes, and I want to ask one more question before I get all of your predictions for Southampton at home, because I'm like a kid in a candy store. I even said to my missus, I'm not going out Friday night, and I love a Friday night because I want to be fresh for Spurs. Lee, just before we move on, I look at this and see I see West Ham trying to sign players like Skamaka and Kostic. I see Arsenal in for Jesus and Richarlison, same as us. They've been linked with players like Milenkovic, Savic as well. We still seem to be shopping in that same pool. What do you think needs to happen for us to shop in the pool above?
We just need to pay the money, Savva. We just need to pay the money. And let's stop pissing about with loans and get them on loan. Let's get the players we need. Let's get the vital players we need in the positions we need. Because if we don't, we are going to struggle.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know what else to really say, because without paying what they want, if they want 60, 70 million for Maddison, if we need him, go and bloody pay their money and get Maddison. I can't get... All right, look, I know we shouldn't be worried about who spends what on what. It's not our money. Let them get on with it. But just go, Spurs, for once, go and do. Don't make do. Do it.
Yeah,
and that's what,
absolutely.
That's it.
So, Haz, from your point of view, I said this to someone earlier in the window, and of course I was called toxic and the usual. Death threats and bombs to my house and all this kind of stuff. Many a true word said in jest, guys, but we won't go into those stories. I kind of felt like at the beginning of the window, there was this whole big, oh my God, we're going for Bastoni, yada, yada, yada. I almost feel like that was an absolute PR smokescreen, because we knew he wasn't going to come. We didn't actually bid. And since then, I don't see that we've gone in for one top player. And I mean top player. Do you know what I mean? We've gone in for players, but no one that we've gone, oh, yeah. No one that the whole fan base has gone, yeah, get him in. Yes. Every one of the players we've signed is, well, I like him. I don't like him. Do you agree with that? Do you think we actually did try and get Bastoni?
I don't think it's like completely untrue, to be honest. I think we did try, but I just probably spent way too long on it than we should have done.
Yeah,
to be honest. And in terms of the window as a whole, like just looking through the signings, because you guys were talking about whether we'd have got them regarding Champions League or not. So I'd say the one, like you said, Perisic, maybe Basuma, just because I think he said he wanted Champions League football. I might be wrong, but the rest, no. Like Spence, you could have got regardless. Forster, regardless. I think even Richarlison, regardless. I'd say he's back in there.
Okay.
I mean, but in terms of like a big signing, we haven't really made one. That's maybe go like, wow. And even this like Zaniolo links, I'm not like too keen on him, to be honest, because of his injury record. I think someone like Maddison, I'm more keen on. And in terms
is this going to be a case, Haz? Just quickly before I move on, and Taylor, we'll see if your mic works in a minute. Is this going to be a case, Haz, that when James Maddison joins Newcastle United, that our entire fan base will pretend that we didn't want him, he's shit, he's no good for us, and that's his level?
I think they'll just bring out the old tweets probably or something like that.
Right. He's a gooner, blah, blah, blah.
It was crap. Yeah. And I think like in terms of like centre halves, man, like we really need someone better than Dyer. I'm very against Eric Dyer, just in general. I think he has a mistake every single game. And if you want to win a title or even any sort of trophy, I don't think he's good enough. So a central centre half is like a must.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to come to you first, Brian, to talk about Saturday's game, and that'll be the last segment. Before we do, Faz, my man, you come at me every show, but you show such terrible knowledge that I'm going to call you out again. Savva, with all respect taken, you talk about top players all the time. I don't talk about top players. I just talk about better than the mediocre players. Then you include Cucurella in that top players group. Just because City and Chelsea now allegedly tried to sign him, I'm confused. Again, I'm going to pull your sentence apart to show you how badly you've got this wrong. City and Chelsea haven't allegedly tried to sign him. City have had a 40 million or 35 million pound bid rejected, and Chelsea have just had a 50 million pound bid accepted. So there's no alleged about it. Second of all, if you've not watched Cucurella, which I'm assuming you haven't, he is a very, very good footballer. He's come out of Barcelona. You can see he's come out of Barcelona. He's been bought through their La Masia. And if you can't see he's a top player, I'm sorry, mate. I really worry for you. You will see it at Chelsea. But if you don't think he would be good in our squad above someone like Ryan Sessegnon, I can't help you. So don't come at me. I will tear you apart. Sorry, guys. That's my style.
Yeah, Savva, can I just quickly say something about the transfer? Just very, very quickly. The analogy that I've been using is over Levy's tenure. So I'm not just talking about this summer. What it reminds me of is, when we're all youngsters, boys and girls, and you're getting to that age where you're starting to wear aftershave or perfume, and you love, let's say, when we were growing up, Cool Water or Fahrenheit. That's the kind of aftershave you want. You want the originals, but your mum goes and gets you the fucking £1.50 imitation from the supermarket that sprays and lasts about 15 minutes. That's what happens with Tottenham.
Yeah.
We say we want like a Skriniar, and that's the top dollar, and then your mum goes to the supermarket and she comes back with Joe Roden.
Yeah.
And then we go. This is what, and I'm not talking about this window generally. It's what happened when Pochettino said as his first signing, get me Schneiderlin, get me Schneiderlin, get me Schneiderlin. I've worked with him. He knows what to do. Whether you thought he was a good player or not, we got given Benjamin Stambouli. That's the kind of thing that happens, and this is what gets everyone with the window. Like you were just saying, when a player comes available in that position, and let's say Cucurella that we're talking about now, we should be the kind of club like, we need that position. One of the best currently on the market in this position are available. Bang, that solves it.
Right.
Not what. That's what we need to do. That's basically not even. Do you know what? I get it if he goes to Chelsea, because Chelsea will offer more money. But at least put a bid in to say we are competing, we are trying to sign the best of the best, as opposed to he's not good enough for Tottenham. But that's what we got to do. We've got to stop saying we're interested like Bastoni and put our money where our mouth is.
Exactly.
And see if the player will come.
It's not even that. We're not even trying. We're not even going, there you go. How about 50 million? It seems like we're not even going, here you go. Would you accept that? We're not even trying. That's what it seems like to me.
Agreed. Just a couple of comments. Bob Spur saying, who doesn't love Brute? Of course, Brian. Bob would like Brute. You look like you smell of Brute, Bob.
He looks like it.
Here's my mate. F1, here you go. When all other clubs, top seven, yes, even West Ham signed someone, Savva praises them, but most of Spurs signings are crap. I've never, ever said any of our signings are crap. You won't find me saying that. So lies don't suit you, my friend. Second of all, it's about the position. West Ham are in the Conference League and shopping in the same market we are, my friend. There's a difference. The players West Ham are buying should not be anywhere near the level of players we're buying for Champions League. The same as Arsenal. We're in the Champions League. D, if you knew me, D, I have not once said fourth is a given. I get called toxic. I don't know how you think that I think it's a given.
You don't, do you, Savva?
Listen, I've said at the moment, the way with the market has gone, I feel that we are the fourth best team in the league. However, let's see what Man U do. Let's see what Arsenal do and West Ham do between now and the end of the window. Same with West Ham. Same with Chelsea. See what they do. I'm not that confident it will happen, D. No, I'm not. I've said that all along. Let's get some predictions. I can't help it if people haven't watched Cucurella and don't rate him. Brian, let's start with you. Southampton at home. What a wonderful game, surely, to kickstart the season at home. Southampton. This has got to be 3 points, right?
Mate, I am going ultra. People won't believe how ultra positive I'm going for this game. I've been saying it for about a week and a half now. Spurs 4, Southampton 0. I honestly, it could be completely deluded, but I think Basuma is going to do what we should have done with James Ward-Prowse, like he did to Harry Kane. I really do. After that terrible performance in Israel, I think there's going to be a lot more. And you got to remember, whether people want to bitch about the signings and the quality, there's a load of Spurs fans going to that game with renewed optimism. Conte is still there. Players are still there. Kane is still there. Players have been added. We're back in the Champions League. I think there is going to be a buzz in that ground. And I made another bold statement. How nice would it be if Thursday or Friday we announced that Conte signed a new contract? How nice and wonderful would that be? And then you go to, not saying it's going to happen, but I just think this Premier League game, look, I think you said it as well, Savva. These games, I'd rather make the mistakes in pre-season than do it at home to Southampton. And I just think at Southampton, there's going to be I'm sticking my neck out. I'm going 4-0 Tottenham.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 4-0 Tottenham. Mark, 4-0 Tottenham, can you beat that? Are you not as optimistic as that? What do you reckon, mate?
You know what? I think Brian just stole my thunder, because in my mind, when you actually was going to answer this question, I did have 4-0 in my head. 4-0 Tottenham.
Great minds think alike, mate. Great minds think alike.
Seriously, 4-0 Tottenham.
4-0 Tottenham. Okay.
Yep.
Scott, can you throw any different circumstance on this? Is there going to be a shock? Would it be a shock?
I think it's certainly possible. I mean, we have shown over the years, last year especially, we can lose any game we have. But I think it'll be probably 2-1 Spurs win.
2-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Lee, are you more with the on the fence like Scott, or is it going to be a walkover like the other two?
It's not going to. I'm going for the win. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a walkover at all. You've got to bear in mind they've got a couple of new players in as well. A couple of key areas, I think. We're at home, so it's in our favour. I'm going to go 3-1, and I just think we're going to concede from a set piece again. I've just got this set piece. Oh, it bugs me. We just can never do it. But yeah, I'm going 3-1. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying we're going to walk it, but it's going to be 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah,
we've got 2 4-0s, a 2-1, a 3-1, a 3-2, set pieces.
We'll definitely concede a goal, and I actually think Southampton will probably score first, if I'm being honest, because we never do it the easy way, and especially because it's the first game of the season, I don't think we'll be in like the rhythm to actually like just walk over a team. So, and I think we'll get the job done. I don't know how, but we'll win. Because it's Tottenham, there's always just drama. I just assume there's going to be drama. So, like, do you think Southampton will score first?
Do any of you foresee any situation where anyone who's watching the game or the fans at the stadium that we're walking out at the end and there's that kind of quiet hush of a team that's been stunned 1-0, had all the game?
Yeah, well,
Tottenham, I guess. Che Adams, 88th minute, sort of hits his backside, goes in, and all of a sudden we started the campaign with defeat. Is there anyone has anyone got that Spurs feeling in the back of their mind?
If you don't have that feeling, it does not matter. If you don't have that feeling, then you don't. There's always that you could be 99.9% certain, and then the unthinkable will happen.
Yeah.
And it has happened many times.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it depends how Southampton approach the game, really.
Would anyone else like to respond to this so it's not always me? Anyone else want to just...
I think if Southampton part of the bus, we'll have problems. So.
All I will say is Cucurella, I haven't seen as much of him as Savva, but you could see his quality. I mean, you got to remember, the tail end of last season, Brighton were playing some of the best football in the league.
Every time we play him, he's a threat.
It's better with Lamptey for me on the other side, I think.
We played it. Listen, he has done a good job. Brighton finally, something clicked in the tail end of last season. Look what they did to Arsenal. Look what they were giving people games and they were comfortably mid-table. And that's because they were playing in the style that Gary Potter wants to play them. And I think people got to realise, just because he played for Brighton, like Basuma, if Conte, look what Conte's done with fullbacks. Look what he has done with fullbacks. You just need to, and he can do it. And there is definitely, if you look at it, I'm a fan of Sessegnon. I'm a big fan of Sessegnon, although I think this season is make or break for him. But he's levels ahead of him. He's levels. He's levels.
Can I just say the whole goals and assists thing as well? When you play for Brighton, who don't tend to score a lot of goals,
exactly,
it's kind of skewed. He's going to be playing at Chelsea, right? I listen. And by the way, I just want to make this really clear. I've never said that Cucurella's the best player I've ever seen. I feel like people are going mad. I just know that when I look at Sessegnon and then I look at Cucurella, I can't go high enough. And Chelsea are going to have Chilwell and Cucurella. That's how you build a squad.
Do you know what? Daryl Denton, and big up Daryl, has just put one of the best comments you ever see to diffuse this argument. There you go.
Agreed.
That is one of the greatest comments to this argument that you could ever, probably the greatest when you're talking about Spurs. Everyone that's been here and a lot of people or you pretty much say every single person that's watching this stream now has seen Moussa Dembele. You can't go back to the Mackays. I haven't even seen Moussa Dembele. Every single person that asks who is the best player you played with or the best player at Spurs, every single one of them say Moussa Dembele. But the one problem he didn't do is goals and assists. And he was in a position where it should have been better. But what he brought better than anyone in the league could do.
And he didn't need to do that, Brian, though, did he? He didn't need to have goals and assists. He just knew how to thread the ball, carry the ball forward, pass it off, put us through. He just knew how to do that. We have missed that. And
he's a ball carrier. Hopefully, Basuma for that spot now.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully.
I just feel, look, just we're going to wrap up in about 5-6 minutes, but I just feel that we're the absolute masters of belittling better clubs than us, and yet bigging up our failure over and over and over and over again.
Well, I think. Sorry, I'm going to say something in a sec. But Savva, in terms of like this window as a whole, I know Brian touched on it a bit, but I think it's because people have been starved of a window like this for so long, right? It's like they finally got something, so they're just holding on to it. In the sense that we should be, and I'm going to say this on record, right? We should be expecting these kind of windows every single window. Okay, maybe not in January, but like every single summer window to go out there, sign players early. On the whole, obviously, players and managers want, right? This should be an expectation, not like because people have been staffed for so long to get something half decent, if that makes sense.
Let me ask you though. I keep hearing the number 6. I keep hearing the number 6 as this should be the expectation. I'm going to ask you this.
I meant.
No, not from you.
Yeah.
Not from you.
Yeah.
I'm saying what I keep hearing, right? Yeah. Everyone can answer this. If the window stopped now, we caveat everything, right? Because we can only talk about where we're at now. Yep. If the window ended now, do you see any difference to this window to any other windows, apart from the fact that the deals were done at the beginning of the window and not the end?
And apart from the numbers we brought in? No.
Not really.
I'm sorry. No.
Right, but do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? At the end of every window, we end up with about 6 or 7 players, apart from the obvious windows where Levy did Levy, right? But I still see that every window we kind of make 2 that go straight into our team, 2 more that are maybe, and another 2 that are just backups. I still see that we've done that now, guys. Tell me if I'm being harsh.
The only difference I can say is that, in the sense that for someone like for Conte, I think he has bought some specialised players in specialised positions for the system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Perisic being an example.
Yeah. So that's Perisic.
I get that.
Basuma, like those 2 are like the top 2, let's say. Richardson's a backup. Forster's a backup. It's pretty obvious. Spencer's like a Levy sign-in. Let's just put it that way because it is. There is some good in it. There is some good in it.
Yeah, there is. I'm not knocking it.
We have improved.
I think it's because we've been starved for so long.
Yeah.
People just won't have anything bad said about the window. And as soon as you say something bad about the window, I know this because I retweeted something earlier from someone else. someone replies back to the guy. I don't. Do you know World of Hotspur? I don't know. He did a tweet earlier today about saying that we need a centre half and a right wing back and a playmaker. And someone replies to the tweet saying something like, "You're so ungrateful" or something. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what? That
you're
like,
so ungrateful that you pay all that money to go and watch Tottenham Hotspur play.
Something like that.
I think that should be a
like,
must.
what?
I don't think we should be grateful or not. As a football team of our level, well, not our level, but,
but
if
you know
we're trying to act
right?
like that, we
It's
need
just
to.
Like, nothing bad can be said. Oh, you should be happy because we signed 6 players and blah blah blah. But it's like, well, we haven't addressed like 2 or 3 really important positions. So how can this be deemed as a complete success?
And that should have been the first thing we addressed, is the ones we needed. Then get the other players around. Not go and get Richarlison. Get who we need now, then build around that. That's what we should have done. And that's what I'm disappointed at. Not the window itself, but just that.
I mean, like, for example, the centre half. It's just, I mean, Longley's not a bad signing, but he's obviously going to start as a backup. So
I like Langley. I like him.
Like
I
a
think
proper centre half, like a real big centre half in the middle for me. So,
one that can win headers. One that can win headers.
I just don't trust Dyer. I just really.
I think it's.
What do you think? Sorry,
Scott.
I was going to say, what do you make of? I tell you, this is a really interesting talking point from Bob. Just before we go, what do you make of this?
No,
I mean, I guess it would be. I don't know. I can see it kind of both ways.
Sorry, Savva, I've got to go, buddy. Sorry, Scott. Didn't mean to. I've got to go. We're going for lunch. We're just outside Tottenham Tour HQ. So we're going to get some lunch. But guys, always a pleasure. And I'll speak to you soon. Speak to you soon, Savva. Speak to you soon, everyone else.
See ya.
I think Bob is saying exactly the same question which I was kind of saying before. Mindset. It's all about mindset. Because as I said, if we'd have won the Champions League final, everyone would be going, the Dyers, the this, the that, are world class.
What?
Mindset.
Really? No.
Definitely.
I don't know, Mark.
Definitely.
I don't know.
We got there through luck.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Lucas should never be sold. Blah blah blah. I mean, come on, Spurs fans, man.
Listen, don't get me started on that decision from Pochettino playing in the final. Don't get me started.
Anyway, guys, look, I've got to go as well. Sav, I'll be back on soon, man. Nice one, guys.
Listen, pleasure. Thank you for coming
Take
on.
it easy.
Pleasure, man. Nice one.
Just quickly, we're going to wrap up in. I keep saying this. We're going to wrap up in the next 5 minutes. If anybody, 172 of you in the chat, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. There's 120 likes. If you could smash that like button. And also, I'm 7 subscribers away from my target for today. I know you probably get really bored of YouTubers asking for subscribers and likes, but it does really help and it does make it worthwhile. So please subscribe either now or after the show. Lee, let me ask you a question. This is going to be my last question of the day, and it's going to go to all of you. If Tottenham finish outside the top 4 this season, has Conte failed?
I don't think Conte has failed. I wouldn't say Conte has failed. I would say Levy has let him down.
Okay.
Because I'm on. So look. All right. Let's be realistic. Yes, he has failed. It would be a failure because from all that, that positivity at the beginning. Yeah, we're going to get this, that, and the other. Yes, we've got players, but is it going to be good enough? And if we do not add to what we got, I think we will struggle. I think we will. So yes, I think it would be a failure.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I still think we're better than Arsenal. Any other lot who fight for top 4, regardless. So
does Arsenal worry you guys in any way at all, or are you just completely not worried about them?
No, I'm not worried. I'm
I wouldn't say I'm
about
worried.
Chelsea,
I wouldn't say I'm worried about it. I'd say from what I've seen from their pre-season, they've clicked better. But you've got to bear in mind as well, they've had pretty much the same team going through this pre-season, apart from Zinchenko and Jesus. Jesus was always going to fit into that squad like that. The only striker out and out, hungry. Look what he's done, banging him in. Zinchenko playing in his natural position anyway. It was always going to work. It was always they've had the same team. We've got what? We've been flicking about players, these new players, trying to get them in position. Conte's been trying to get them to work, do what they need to do. We're going to have issues. But at the moment, from what Arsenal have been doing, yes, it's pre-season, but yeah, they have clicked. That's all I'm going to say, really.
So, all right. So now let me go back to the question of 60 seconds ago. If we finish 5th behind that Arsenal team that no one is worried about, has Conte failed?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Right.
See, I see what you're saying. You put it into a
right. But this is what's going to be interesting for me. Now, look, half the point of anybody in the chat. No, I'm not Arsenal fan, and no, Savva talks Arsenal is not me. It's a fake account. Good God!
And I'm certainly not worried about Arsenal. Just from what I'm seeing with my own eyes pre-season,
I actually like Zinchenko as a signing. I would have taken him as.
They're good signings. You can't
I would take him over Cess.
I'll take him in Spurs. I'll have both of them, Jesus and Zinchenko. I think they're good players.
I would have taken Jesus over Richarlison. I'm not saying at any point it was an either or, but I prefer Jesus
as well over Richarlison. I was more in that camp.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. But I mean, Zinchenko for me, again, it's that thing where no one's a good signing for anyone else. I've seen so many Spurs fans getting on Zinchenko. Again, I look at our squad and go, okay, but now imagine you had Zinchenko and Perisic on the left hand side.
I know. It's like
right, not Sessegnon and Perisic on the right. And this is where we, this is where we, as fans, and no offense, look, Faz, I'm going to, he said, we don't seem to appreciate who we have. Hopefully one day we won't look back with regret. Many clubs would love to steal Conte from us. I don't think it's about us appreciating Conte. I think everyone appreciates Conte. What we're saying is the owners need to appreciate Conte and give him top players while we've got him. Whether the fans appreciate him or not, that's not the question here. No. We're not providing him the tools to do the job. So I don't buy into this. Faz, listen, you're a great guy. You're always polite. You come on. I do feel that for me, it looks like your expectation, your bar is down there. Mine's up here. That's cool. But please never think I'm negative because I've got a bar that's set here. Fans like myself, fans like Lee, fans like Haz, we've got 20-odd years. I mean, just under Levy of failure. Failure upon failure upon failure. So when fans call me negative and toxic because I demand better, think how flawed that is as a concept. Think how flawed it is that the person that's demanding better is the negative one. Think about that. On that note, guys, Haz, quality to you again. You going Saturday, Haz?
Yep.
Yeah. Beer? Should we meet for a beer?
I don't know if I can meet you before. I don't know. It depends on what the plans are because it's like a family thing. So
for the show, just say yes. That's all you got to do. Just say yeah.
Make it sound good.
Jesus Christ, Haz. I'm not sitting here arranging times with you and stuff.
Okay.
Are you going, Lee, Saturday?
No. I'm not in London anymore. I am from London, but I live in Swindon, so just on the outskirts, unfortunately. Okay. So I don't get to many games. I'm going to try and get to a few games next for the new season. But yeah, I would love to join you guys when you're ready.
If you need tickets, let me know.
Oh, yes,
it's all about who you know, innit? Who you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Some really good Tottenham chat. And thank you very much. I am going to love you and leave you. I'm going to make some dinner for when the missus gets in and stay in the good books. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Please keep hitting the subscribe and the likes. And I will see you all again very, very soon. And we are